It does kill it.
He made the decision to play Thiago. Klopp doesn't change the system. Since blue back left, you don't want to change from the 4-3. What's going on, people? We're back again on the Jerry James Show. And as you can see, we've got the regular cast, but obviously the TikTok sensation that is G. The podcast, analyzer like Roms, and obviously we've got a special guest here today as well. It's the CEO, the chief exec of Klopp Zone. What's going on, guys? How you guys doing, man?
I'm liking the intro. Like, I don't need to say anything else. I like that intro. I'm going to go with that one next time.
Yeah, you got it, man. You got it. How you guys doing, man? In this hot weather's day now.
Bless, man. It is hot. Real talk, it's hot.
Roms, you're dying. I'm looking at your eyes. You look like
I look tired, innit?
Guys, everyone in the chat, if Roms part is out, please don't clip it up like this.
I said to my friends who lock in, I said, bro, it's not that I'm annoyed. If I look annoyed, it's got to be because of the heat. But I'm not that guy. But I'm hot, bro.
How you guys finding the heat though? You guys liking it? You're not? What's going on? I know Ash behind camera saying he's been rocking his gilet all day. So Jesus.
Gilet day today, like I like the heat. I like bring more heat.
I've always said it's London heat. Like if you're near seaside with the ocean generate breeze, it's fine. But London heat where it's just stuffy and
bro, there's no wind whatsoever. I just stood outside in the garden for about 2 minutes. I started sweating. I said, "Yeah, you see, we're done now."
Imagine going on the Central Line today.
Oh no, forget that.
I was gonna say, have any of you man been on the tube today?
No, but Central Line because it's actually the lowest out of all the lines. It's the most hot. It's a nightmare.
It's the worst. Central Line's garbage as well. Nah.
I think with all this money that this government supposedly has, like we'd be able to at least put some aircon up in the train. Like, come on.
Yeah, we're bringing this political now. He's going political. Like,
sorry. Liverpool. I love Liverpool.
But guys, everyone in the chat, big up obviously Christopher Edwards. You've got John Paquette in the building, Ravi, psychedelic scientist. So guys, as you already know, like when you see our faces on the screen, all we ask for, the ticket for entry is if you're not subscribed, you give a like. If you're new, you subscribe and you smash that like, guys. Let's see how many likes we can get on this one. It should be a good one, to be fair. Obviously, taking our focus away from obviously LFC related content for focus content, and we're looking at the op review. So, guys, I think the best place to start, in my opinion, I think there's no better place than to start with a big one. I think let's look at Chelsea. I think Chelsea are the ones that have, really made the headlines. Like as of recent. Obviously, Sterling we spoke about last week, but that's been confirmed. Within that time as well. I think by the end of the week, by Friday, it was last Friday. Koulibaly is the one now that's also. It went through the day after. So to put it off, just to obviously say it off. Koulibaly to Chelsea. How are you guys feeling? Good signing, overrated. What are we saying, Roms? We might start with you, man.
I think it's a very good sign. This naturally happens. Some Chelsea fans getting ahead of themselves saying top 3 centre backs in the league. He's not even kicked a ball in the Premier League yet. Like you can't go off what he's done in the Italian league. But I think it is a very good signing. But I still feel they need a bit more. But I think Aspi may be on his way out. Rudiger and Christian on their way out. That I would say he's within the top 10, top 15 in the world. So it is a statement signing. I think it's a good signing for them. Very good signing.
Yeah, what are you guys saying, man? Ash, G.
Do you know what? I don't agree, Roms, because the thing is, Todd Bowley and Custard, he's come in right straight away, and what he's doing, he's done what we all do. You know, when you go to play FIFA and you've put the old game in, and it's like FIFA 19, and he's typed in on the scout report on career mode, and he's gone right. I need a strong, physical centre back. I need a fast-pacey winger. That's all he's done. Like, why is he putting himself ahead of all this negotiation stuff? I think when you look at it, like you just said, Aspi on the way out. They need a leader at the back. Like Rudiger's gone. Koulibaly's not a leader. Like the only leading I've ever seen him do is when Salah was leading him round Napoli's pitch in the Champions League. Like,
Oh.
I don't know what it is. I'm not so. I think he's a good player, but they need a leader. They need a Rudiger. They need an Aspi, and I don't think he's gonna bring that to Chelsea.
What are you saying, G?
Yeah, I agree. With...
It's looking like it's affecting you now as well. You look like you're about to pass out.
No, I agree. Like, I agree because I don't think he's the guy, the type of defender that they needed. But at the same time, I do still think he is a decent signing, though. I think with that many players that they have leaving this summer, especially in defense, they kind of needed at least a decent player to at least come in, and then maybe if they get someone else of like better quality or something like that, then it can work. But I think he'll be all right, but he might get exposed. Thiago Silva, him, they're both over 30. That might not work out. It might not work out.
Quickly, what was the fee? You lot, do any of you know?
I'm not
They're like 40.
Yeah, it wasn't cheap for that age as well. I agree with what you're saying though, Roms. I think he's a good player.
Yeah.
Like Koulibaly, he was the one that everyone was saying, like Liverpool were like, do you know what? Let's get him partner Van Dijk when we still had Lovren and stuff. But
yeah.
At that time, he was. That's why I said he's put FIFA 19 in, because now he's getting to the back end of his career. Do you know what I mean?
Because I always think what's worrying as well is, like you said, 2-3 years ago when he was we were looking at him before Dijk and he was actually one of the world beaters. What kind of concern me about now in this window is I always question it, even like when Arsenal signed Aubameyang, when a lot of big clubs aren't in for you, there's always a question mark, like why isn't more clubs in for you? And the fact it was only really Chelsea off the top of my head, I think Barca was sniffing, but already know what they're doing if they're fraud and whatnot. But I don't know what's going on over there, but like that's the only thing could have. I think you're spot on, Ash. That he's literally put in the old game and just typed in a certain criteria. However, I will say though, which I disagree with rival fans saying, when they're like, 31, giving him a 5-year contract. We all know 2 positions where you compete quite late and have there's more longevity in your career is a goalkeeper and a centre back. That's facts. Them 2 positions you can play on longer. So I don't think the 5-year deal, if I take my Liverpool hat off, I don't think the 5-year deal is too bad at all, to be fair. He'll probably start slowing down, or his ability will start reducing probably in the next 5 years. But I think it's a decent signing for them.
I think with Koulibaly, for me, I do think it's a no-brainer. Think about it. What centre-backs were in the market? I know there were obviously Chelsea were in for Ake as well. But to get someone at the same level, if not a bit better than a Rudiger, that's got Champions League experience, that's won international competitions, obviously the AFCON with Senegal, for 33 mil, it's a bit of a no-brainer for them. I don't know who else they would actually go in for.
Sorry, go on.
Go on.
Jay, where do you think Chelsea need to go now, though? Because they've got Silva, they've got all these old. They've just signed Sterling, who's getting closer to 30. They've got Koulibaly, and where do you think they're trying to go? Because Kante's getting older, Jorginho's getting older.
I do think they're trying to. I think what they've tried to do, they're trying to solidify themselves and stabilize the club, because I don't think they want to go and just say, you know what, we're going to go and get this French under-21 player that can play, or we're going to go and get Fofana from Leicester and we're going to rest all our hopes on him. Because I think what happens there, you're in a situation where you as a club, like you're looking around and you're looking at yourself, you're like, we've actually regressed now, because we've gone through that period where we had Mason Mount and Tammy Abraham and all these type of young players. Now, obviously, after that, they'd obviously subsequently won the Champions League. They can't now go back into that mode because they need to start winning now. And it's a bit of a difficult one. I think they know if they can get a Koulibaly now for 33 million, Thiago Silva, let's say, he leaves Chelsea next year, which is a possibility as well. He leaves. They've still got that experience now. We're at the back. So when they go and bring in a young player, they've already got a centre-back there that's accustomed to the club. He's used to, the go-ins. He's trained with them. He understands the system, and I think it does help them. You need stability at the back at the end of the day. So I think I don't know, on the back of it frustrates me a bit, because it's like Chelsea were down and out, same as at Barca. They were down and out. yet they're still able to bring in players.
Yeah.
And I know it's mad, and I said I didn't want to talk about Liverpool, but it's like at our best players. At our best, we can't get these players. United at their worst.
Jerry, it's too hot to be whining ourselves even more.
Honest, that's it.
It's too. I'm tired, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's too hot, man. It's too hot.
But yeah, man. I don't know, man. I don't. Anyway, focusing on Chelsea, I think it's a good signing. I think when you look at it, what other centre backs are out there?
There is one. This is before Ash went. This is what I was going to say, and I'm not going to act like I've watched him many times. I watched him on 4 occasions against the 3 biggest teams in Italy. But that Bremer guy from Torino, I watched him twice against Inter, once against Milan, and once against Juve.
Yeah,
he's quality. He is actually quality, and I think he was in the team of the season last year. He just looks like a unit. He looks like his awareness is good. He's quick. There's not much he can't do. That's from what I've seen. I've not watched him over the course of the season, but when after Super Sunday or a bit bored, I kind of just find when Torino happened to be on a Sunday night against the big boys, thought let me lock in, and he was just playing well. A player every time you watch him, he just seems to play well. I think Tottenham and United are in for him, or there's some interest there. But Bremer's the only one I can think of off the top of my head, especially the caliber they needed. I think he might be the next big centre back in world football.
Yeah,
that's why I'll say we're blessed.
That's why we got no complaints.
Yeah, we ain't got no issue. Like, you got 4 centre backs who every single one of them would probably walk into every single team, give or take in world football, maybe a couple that you might argue with. So we're all right when it comes to that. These lot, remember, they're trying to find that. They're trying to still get their 4 centre backs, or I don't know how many they play at the back, but like 5 centre backs, so that they at least have their main centre backs plus your rotation, plus your guys who can come in. And as Jerry even said, like, it's one of them ones where they're in a position now where it's a bit awkward. It's a bit weird because they've passed that stage, as you said, where they bought the young Mason Mount, or they have the young Mason Mounts and Tammy Abraham. Now, you can't really buy that no more. You need to be buying the quality now. And Koulibaly, he is the only real quality out there. Maybe you can get like a youngster, but they need someone who can do it right now, give or take, on the big stage. So let's just go. I think he's all right. I think he'll be all right.
So Ash was talking about, obviously, before Sterling, yeah? So Ash, it seems to me you're not really rating him.
Do you know what?
I don't hate the player, man.
No, I rated Sterling, right? But what they've done again, he's got a wish list, Bowley or whatever he's done. And he's wrote down on this wish list again, striker, ST, and he's put Erling. And then he's got caught up and he's had to run off. And then his scouting department have picked it up and read it and gone, oh, it's Sterling instead of striker, Erling Haaland, because that's what they need. They need that striker. They need a number 9. Like, Sterling's not going to give them what they need. Sterling through the middle for Chelsea isn't going to work because they've not got creative players. Sterling's that guy with the pace. Look at Werner. Werner at Liverpool. Woo! He would have been a different beast.
Do you not think the way that they play, that they really, because I feel like Chelsea don't buy strikers, and they do well without a main striker. As we've seen, their last good striker was Diego Costa. They haven't had a good striker since. That's all 2014, 15 kind of era.
Think of Chelsea when they've been at the best. That's when Chelsea are at their best with those Drogba's, Costas.
But look how few and far between it's been since they've even had those. Like,
just to jump in, G, they do stand strikers. They're just never really a success. The Crespo's, the Shevchenko's, the Torres, the Maratas. They actually do. They just don't work out for them.
That's what I meant to say.
Exactly.
They don't seem to like. I feel like their best, really, unless you're gonna get, Drogba, Diego Costa, they're few and far between. But I just think the way that Tuchel kind of plays, I feel like he'll do better without a striker. I think he wants to play with like a false 9 now. He doesn't seem like he's really trying to buy a striker.
Where do you see Sterling playing them? Where do you think Sterling's going to be that false 9?
On the left or the false 9? The left or false 9? He could have with Werner.
He loves Mason Mount, though, on the left. He loves him. Everyone loves Mason Mount.
But this is all rotation, though. This is what they need. They need these kind of players. Like,
I think all three of you agree, though. Sterling's at his best when he has that focal point, a Suarez or Aguero next to him.
Kane at England. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly. I don't think he's gonna unless Chelsea bring in a number 9, a quality number 9, like a world-class number 9, which we know how the striker market is right now. I can't see them doing. I don't know how well. I don't think Sterling's going to do bad, but I don't think he's going to do as well as some Chelsea fans and other fans think. I think Ash is spot on. Todd Bowley's kind of just playing FIFA career mode. Who's the best players in each position? If you don't get one, he goes for the next best. It's very career mode-ish.
Yeah, nice.
I wish we could play career mode. If this is career mode, yo, sign me up. Sign me up.
Career mode, man. We've set Listen, Liverpool have set all the sliders are in their comps and their CPUs. We're trying to make it as difficult as possible, man.
Yeah, and that way you start the season, it's like difficulty level. Like Tottenham are like easy amateur. We're like world class.
Legendary,
There's 1 million to go into the season without Van Dijk.
Yeah, exactly. It's just madness. Yeah, man. So Roms, you know what? We'll go around. If you were Chelsea's manager, what else do they need? Like, obviously they've got Koulibaly. He's a decent.
I'm cheating a bit because one of my good friends at Chelsea, and I kind of knew this, but he made me realize they need more than actually what I thought.
Yeah,
they need enough. For me, they need someone on the right side. They need another
centre back.
No, right forward. Sorry, so they need another right winger. They need a centre forward. They need They need kind of that number 10, kind of what we need to a degree. That kind of number 10 that can play the 8. Because Kovacic for me right now is their best midfielder. Kante, let's be honest, I'm not gonna go in on him because I love Kante, but he's on a decline. I think everyone would agree on that. Jorginho, I don't know about you, I don't really rate like that. Like,
never have.
I think we're all on that page. I just feel like the Euros and the Champions League kind of pulled wool over people's eyes. Gallagher, I don't know if Tuchel has enough trust in him just yet. So I'll say, right forward a striker, a number 8/10. I'll say 2 centre backs, because Christensen.
2 more after Koulibaly.
Because you're forgetting 3 of Aspie. I'm not sure. I think he's on his way, but I'm not 100%. But Christian, I rated Christian. I don't know about you 3, but I rated Christian and Rudiger. That's 2 quality centre backs leaving, and you have to get 2 back in. You've got 1 now.
Innit?
Say that again.
They've got Malang Sarr, innit? They're probably gonna play Sarr.
No, but listen,
it's true. I don't know why. I know you're laughing, but it's true.
No, but do you rate him, Jerry? That's the question.
Yeah, you know.
And you know who else they have, right? But Chelsea, this is why you've kind of got to admire them. Even though they're not on us and City's level, they still think that the most successful team in the last 2 decades, they bring in players to win now. So I think Levi Colwill they should keep, but they're looking to sell him. He is a quality. From what I saw in the Championship last year, he's quality. But they're looking to offload him. And when I spoke to my friend, I kind of get is that we're here to win now. We need someone to come in and hit the ground running now. Is that you're sounding like my club? But so I'd say 2 centre backs. I think they need at least 4 players, 2 centre backs. No, 5 players. A right forward, a centre mid, a 10/8, and 2 centre backs. I don't think 1's enough. They need to bring in another 2. Especially if Aspie, if Aspie stays, they can get away with another 1, I would say. But if Aspie leaves, I think they need to bring in 2. I think, and like G alluded to earlier, the way they play with that 4-5 centre backs, their depth will start to look 1 minute. Their depth is quite thin all of a sudden. So, I think
do you see them grabbing 4 more players?
No, realistically, no. But you asked what I think they need. So then again,
grabbing 4 players and then.
The way
they're moving now.
The way they're moving,
Oh man, I don't think so.
Not this late. Not this late in the window.
It's too late, man. It's too late.
Yeah.
Too late. But you're not saying that.
We're not even.
There's still like another 6 weeks.
Yeah, we got time. Yeah,
when does the Prem start?
Forget when the Prem starts. Their transfer window don't finish until
but that's my problem. If you go and don't get it in by the time the Premier League starts, and they want to go and be winning now, they've got to start off like they did last season.
And the price as well.
Especially the nature of the league the last few years, a point in it and whatnot. Every game literally.
Chelsea were in it in the first part of the season because they started as hard as Liverpool did. Liverpool, City, and Chelsea started.
I'm shameless. I had them to win it after the clock. I thought that was the final piece of the jigsaw. I had them to win it.
Yeah,
but then that tells you straight away that 1, we can't predict nothing, and 2, I think it's just a case of like at the end of the day, look at the way, like I said, look at the way that Tuchel kind of played it. Like, one, he didn't even look like he wanted Lukaku in the first place. When he did get him, he barely wanted to really play the guy. Now you don't want to play the guy. Your team looks better when you don't play with the guy. Unfortunately, he's your top goal scorer. They're in a catch-22. So that's why I think I don't feel like he's looking at another striker unless it's like a Werner, someone who is a striker but can play on the wings, if that kind of makes sense. But I don't really know who's out there like that.
Just to add to that as well, I don't think they never have really operated like this how we do. But another reason why I reckon they could get all them 4 signings or 4 positions filled is because I think they'll keep Pulisic. I do think they'll keep him, but I think Werner and Ziyech, I think they're going to offload, so that will bring in some money. But again, it does leave them. It leaves them quite thin.
The problem is that they're offloading players, but they ain't got the players to offload.
Yeah. You're right.
They get rid of Ziyech. They get rid of Ziyech. We're talking about a creator. He can play. He can be that creator. They've got Mount. He can be that creator.
But they're not a patient club. The fans want these players out. That's the problem. The fans actually want these. And remember, Todd Bowley, because it's his first window, he's trying to make the greatest impression. He doesn't want them. He doesn't want there to be such a difference in him and Abramovich. He's kind of trying to take that mantle. So, you know what? I don't actually know what to expect from them, and I hate that. I hate that. I like to kind of know what I'm expecting from a team, but I don't know what to expect from Chelsea, man.
You got to realize we ruined it. Us and City have kind of ruined it for a lot of people, man, because everyone's trying to close this gap. That's all they're doing. They're not coming here. Like, let's be real. No one's coming here to win. Let's be honest with each other.
Are we even coming in here to win?
Well, yeah, I mean, there is that as well. But like, let's be honest. Every other team,
you'll never walk alone in that environment.
Yeah, well, this is it. Like, there's 18 other teams in the league. They all know realistically we're not coming here to win. We're just kind of coming here to close the gap on these guys. So how else can we do that? Let me try and get this player, that player, this player, that player. But the reality is none of them have got the managers to do it. And I don't feel any of them will be able to get in the players that they really need to be able to challenge at the moment. Not to say it can't happen, obviously, in the future. But at the moment, I feel City and Liverpool have those players already to kind of go out there. You got to realize we're used to winning, going on like 20-game winning runs. No one else. No, not just a 20-game unbeaten run, 20-game winning run. Consecutively. Like, it's only us who do that. So I just think with getting Sterling, that's why I think they'll get in like 4 more players because they need to close that gap. Spurs, I guess we're going to go on to in a bit. They need to close that gap. Arsenal, United, they're just closing the gap. These guys, they know they're not coming here to win. Let's be real.
So right now, we'll go on, Ash.
I don't think Chelsea win anything the way they're moving now without Abramovich. Like, they're doing the same things they did, but Abramovich was so diligent in the way he did things. He knew when managers needed to go. He knew when players needed to come in. Even though they spent so much money, they spent it well. But when you look at it now, they need a Fikayo Tomori. They've let him go. They've let him go.
Oh my God, I forgot about him.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, if they just kept hold of it, they need to play Gallagher. Like, Gallagher's coming in off the back of that season. Yeah. You've got to play him. Pulisic, for me, he's made for Chelsea's team to be a starter on that right wing. So I don't know why they're not doing it. Why they're playing Havertz as an attacker when he's a good central midfield player, but they like Jorginho. It's like they're playing everyone in the wrong positions, but they're not going to win anything that way, the way that Abramovich did it, because Abramovich isn't there. They've got to go back now to building the foundations, to play Chalobah, play Gallagher, and then build it up that way, because there's no point trying to challenge with, I say Liverpool, we have been dominating for the last 5 years. I'm not even going there today. You know that if I start today, that's it. I'm not even.
What I was even gonna before you finish here, I'm even gonna move on that. Is like when you said about they're going back to foundations. Yeah, I'm telling you, when you said they're going back to foundations, don't you think even for Chelsea it's a bit mad, because their foundation of winning is Abramovich. Yeah, but that foundation is a spend money, do what we like. We got enough money to. They can't really do that now. So I don't even know what they're trying to do anymore.
But when you look post Abramovich, though, I think they did well. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, like Terry and Lampard came in, like homegrown players, build your foundations off that. When you look at like Zola, when you look at Gianluca Vialli and these type of players, you want players that are going to work for your team, players that are going to like play multiple positions, but the mainstays in your squad. You can't do it now with this Pulisic 1 week, Ziyech the next week, because they're completely different players as right wingers. So if you're Reece James, you're like, oh, this week, do I overlap? Do I come in at central midfield? Like, what am I actually doing week in, week out? It's completely different every week, I think, with Chelsea.
I've got a yes and no question for all three of you. I'm not trying to divert too much, but had Abramovich still been here, do you think Tuchel would still be in charge? Just yes or no from all three of you.
No.
Ash?
No.
G?
No.
Yeah. Especially after 2 cup. Yeah, I think he wouldn't as well.
He'd have been gone. They would have had Hasenhüttl or something like that.
Why do you think Tuchel's been so happy when all that news broke? You saw Tuchel in every press conference with a smile like, oh, Ukraine, none of my business, none of my business. Like, yeah, I bet it's not. You've got a job now. You're literally running Chelsea Football Club. That's what he was doing towards the end of the season.
Yeah, because when you think about it, he's the only constant now, isn't
he?
Yeah.
So he's
wait, because Marina left as well, isn't it?
Huh?
She's leaving.
Marina
left. Czech left. The Petr Cech left. They all left. So the only one that's the real constant now is Tuchel. It's actually his team now.
And realize because he's such a good manager, they ain't gonna the new guy's not gonna just dash you to the curve like anytime soon. Because then he's got to find another good manager. So now what's the name? Todd or Ted, whatever his name is. He's just looking at it thinking, right, like this is good for me. I've got a top tier manager. He's not too much of a fuss. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have to look for anything else. You already know the club. Just let me know what you need, what you want. Write it down on a piece of paper. I'll go get it sorted for you. We're good to go. Bob's your uncle. It's crazy.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
Quickly on them. Before you go into questions.
Yeah, go on.
Just before you go in the comments, one player that needs to step up for them, and I can't stress how much of a big season he needs to have for Chelsea, is Hudson-Odoi. He has to. He has to step up.
No, he has to. He has to.
I don't
think he's there though. I think he's just got to leave.
Where does he play?
Jerry, I think that Bayern move would have been.
That
would have been the move. That would have been the move. That would have been.
And the thing is, it would have given him that buffer because even if it didn't work out and he had the same kind of effect that he's having now at Chelsea, he would have easily come back into the Prem and then Arsenal would have taken a punt on him or something.
Exactly.
Or Everton would have bidded 60 million for him.
That's what I'm saying, or whatever. Whereas now, when people it's tough for him. It's tough. He's got to have a good World Cup. If he joins up with the Ghana team, he's got to have a good World Cup.
For a minute, I just thought you meant for England. I was like, what? And I remembered he switches allegiance. Yeah.
Where does he play though? Are you playing him as a winger, wing back?
And that's the problem, Ash.
Just ruined him.
That's the problem, Ash. The fact I was going to ask the same thing. The fact we have to ask that question shows he's not really established himself. And I rate Hudson-Odoi, but he's not established himself in any real position. I can tell you Hudson-Odoi is a winger, but if someone says what side, I don't know. I actually don't know.
Yeah, it's true. But it's like when you talk about Bukayo Saka, he's a right winger, but he can play wing back either side. But he's a right winger. That's what Hudson-Odoi needs to do this season. Yeah. I'm a winger. I'm a left winger, but I can play these different positions. But I don't know.
Yeah, because he's got the ability. It's just the end product. That's just for me. It's just always lacking, isn't it? It's whether it's the shot or the cross or whatever it is, which is just obviously mad annoying, man. So what we say? So what we saying? So at the moment, Chelsea, where have we guys got them in the league next season?
5th,
4th,
5th,
5th. Right. What are the 4 teams?
I think they come top 4 still.
I think they scrape 4th.
Yeah, they scrape 4th.
Really?
No, you know what? Actually, I think they'll come 3rd. I think this will be one of them seasons where they either just kind of come together. Tuchel's got his team, got what he needs, and he can just go. Or, as Ash said, they come 5th. It's going to be one of those. Then they'll just end up coming 5th or something.
Signing Sterling, you need to be a team that creates lots of chances. Sterling's going to be the guy that's getting the goals for them next season, and they don't create enough chances. He's not clinical enough.
But the thing is, you say that, but I think that's not enough. It's not enough.
Yeah.
Like with Sterling, even if he's the one getting the goals and they're creating loads of chances, no, this is the time where this is your team. You need to be taking the game by the scruff of the neck. You need to be getting the import. This is your franchise now. You're the star of it. Do with it as you please. He's not a finish. He's not there to be on the end of stuff anymore. He's gonna have to be the creator, the goal getter, the winner of fouls. He's gonna have to be the main man in that team, of course.
And let's be honest, word to what Ash said, like he is not that clinical. And the thing is, his record, his record would say otherwise to what me and you just said, Ash, because he scored a lot. But there's context. He was in a great City team. He's now playing with, I'm not going to say worst players, but the level, he stepped down a level in terms of the quality of the team. So he may not get all them chances. And one thing I think people do a disservice to him, tapping merchant. Well, at the end of the day, you've got to be in them positions to score. Goals are goal at the end of the day, but I can't see him getting them plethora of chances he gets at Chelsea. I just can't. Again, especially if they don't bring in a striker. But I think they scrape for. I actually believe them and Arsenal will be tussling it out for fourth. But something tells me Arsenal will probably prioritise Europa League and Chelsea might just nip in there. But I think Chelsea will scrape fourth.
Arsenal are very interesting this summer.
Yeah, very.
I'm very intrigued to see. I think. Sorry, we're going off Chelsea a bit, but I think I just saw Gunnar Lee's comment. But I'm looking at it, and I looked at it again, and I said, you know what? I can slyly see it, because what Arteta's got at the moment for Arsenal, which I don't think Chelsea have, is I actually think Arteta's got a better team in terms of.
Wait, G, you agree with this comment?
Slyly, like listen. I can see it. Yeah. But I'm just looking at the teams, and I'm looking at Arsenal. I'm looking at Spurs, and obviously everyone thinks that Spurs are gonna. My God, everyone thinks that Spurs are obviously. Spurs are just gonna fly through, do their thing, finish there. But then I'm thinking, remember, Spurs are bringing in all of these players. They still need to come in, gel, do this, do that. Not all of them are gonna maybe bang the way that we think they're gonna bang. Arsenal already have a kind of solid team. All they actually really needed, in my opinion, is just to kind of up the level of what they already currently have. So you can still keep your Odegaards and all these kind of players as your starters. They just need to kind of shore up that quality in the depth. A bit like what we kind of need to do is your depth can't be so far away from your starting 11. Your starting 11 can be whatever level, but theirs was too big. So then you started to see it when certain players getting injured, they're bringing in other kind of players. You're like, well, this guy's not going to cut the mustard. Do you get what I'm saying? You've gone from Nketiah, no disrespect. You've gone from Nketiah to Jesus. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, there's a bit now of do you get what I mean? A bit more of a jump now that they've started to kind of make. But Nketiah is still good enough to be like, you know what? I don't mind you coming off the bench. I don't mind you starting against your Norwiches or whoever come, like Fulhams and stuff. I don't mind those games, but we need someone with a bit more.
There's no way Nketiah is playing on the bench after they've given him that number 14 shirt.
Yeah,
we're
going to see a lot more of him
as well.
Listen, I agree. You're going to see more of him, but I just look at that and think to myself, you put crazy pressure on a guy who isn't that guy anyway. If that makes sense, like if he was that guy and like an Mbappe type quality, you're like, yeah, give him number 14, let him do this, let him do that. I feel like you should have just kind of left him to just kind of forge your own path, like all of this 14 stuff. And if he doesn't hit the ground running, there's going to be people asking questions, bro. Like now you're a first team starter. If you're not banging in 15 to 20 goals, I'm looking at you differently now in comparison to say Jesus. I'm looking at him and thinking, if you don't get 15, then boy, you might as well pack your bag from now. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think Arsenal have a team. Arteta, people get onto him, but I think he's got a team there and he's able to kind of use that to the best of their advantages. So I think moving forward, if they get a few more decent players in, they'll be all right.
I've always...
One second. To Arsenal is going to run.
That's me done enough.
Yeah, because Christopher Edwards saying, howdy, what's going on?
Howdy.
Chris, man. He's saying, getting ready for the gym. Yeah, man.
I need to join you, bro.
Exactly, man. Big up Ravi as well. Psychedelic scientists, we're all good, man. We're all good. I'm speaking for everyone.
I like that name, bro. So you might see me use it for something. Just let me know.
Copyright that quick, psychedelic. Yeah. John Paqueta, big up, man. Big up. He's saying, big up the weather. Top down riding round, playing none but bad boy records.
I just want to give a shout out to the Ecru shirt in the picture. That's what I'm digging up.
Yeah,
that's my shirt. That is.
That's heritage, man.
I like that top. See, well, how come we used to go off topic? We used to have some dope kits like back in the day. I know we were all talking in the group and stuff like about some of the new kits that have come out, and then you see some of the away kit looking all dizzy and that. Like I don't really
literally
get
psychedelic.
Bro, I said it.
Literally.
The way kit looks at them old TVs that lost signal, bro. I said it, bro. No, that is hideous. It's hideous. Then you see Arsenal come out today. That looks beautiful, bro.
Yeah.
No, Arsenal are killing it. Listen, but Arsenal are not
always killing their
pre-season games. Like, I don't know if you guys saw, but you know that Zara brother that does that thing with troops.
Yeah,
Did you hear him? Did you hear his comments about that undefeated in pre-season?
Sure.
They're gonna win the league. Jesus is gonna get 30 goals in the Prem.
Hey,
you're gonna have to obviously back your boys, back the team, because it's a bit embarrassing. Because
I got my take on Arsenal. Yeah. One thing I'll always rate Arteta for, because this is what we always slated Arsenal for. Yeah. Even I can't even say in their peak that, because let's be real, they weren't really winning things. But I even saw a clip today of a goal they scored against United with Nasri, Van Persie, Fabregas, a young Walcott, a young Ramsey, a young Wilshere. That goal was just, and the Nasri's kind of just blasted it from that 30 yards out. The goal was exceptional. But one thing we've always slated Arsenal for since the Invincibles and that FA Cup or whatnot, they've never had a stable back four. And when Arteta's come in and kind of giving them that foundation of Tomiyasu when he's fit, Tierney when he's fit, that's two, for me, that is two areas you have to look at though. I've had to add when they're fit, but Tomiyasu and Tierney, two fullbacks, and Gabriel and White, now I think their defense has gone even stronger. Saliba and Gabriel, now I think it's gone even stronger. That's one thing I'm going to give Arteta credit for. But however, and Trudon alluded to it in the comments, for me, the reason why I don't think they can get fourth, if they struggled without European football, now they're going to do the Thursday, Sunday. I don't know. And word to what G said, they still have a golfing class, in my opinion, from their bench and the 13 squad. Because for me, you three that might look at me like, Romans, you just got clipped. I think Gabriel Jesus is getting 18 plus Premier League goals. This is how high I rate this guy. The only thing for me that hinders him, his injury record is not the best. So God forbid, I don't like seeing any players get injured. Even United City, I'm not that. I like to beat you with your strongest starting 11. So God forbid there's any injuries. However, I do think Gabriel Jesus gets 18 plus league goals. But if he does get injured, and like G said, and Ketia to come and take on that mantle, I just can't see it. And I still feel they need to strengthen certain areas. So I think Arsenal finished fifth. And I think them or United, I'm going to put it out there, I think an English club wins the Europa League. And it's out of them or United. But I can't, Arsenal just miss out for me. Just.
Yeah,
exactly.
Before we get into anything, that DP with Naby Keita.
That's a DP.
He's actually the smoothest criminal. How he's playing in the midfield with that number 8 on his back is crazy. That's the stuff of dreams. And he's turning it into a nightmare, in my opinion. Anyway, big up Naby anyway. Trudon saying Arsenal flopped top 4 with no Europe. Now with Europa, they finished third. Nah, not with the Spanish Tom Cruise.
That's rude, you know.
Oh my gosh.
You know, it's just Arsenal. Yeah, they're just weird, man. They're just honestly weird. I just think, as you said, they need to just get in a few more players. Like, are they getting in Zinchenko? It looks like so, because Tierney, as Rom said, when fit, he's the guy. But that guy's never ever fit. Like, you can guarantee he's gonna probably play about 15 games, and after that, you're never gonna see him again for the rest of the season.
He's like their ox. He's literally like their ox.
Yes. He's like their ox. So it's like, I think getting in Zinchenko again, decent. He's a decent left back. He's decent enough. He knows the Premier League. He's won the Premier League.
He's really good. I think on the ball.
Yeah, on the ball. For what they need. They got Tavares as well. I don't think Tavares is all that.
Is he going to play? Is Zinchenko going to be centre mid though? Because that's his natural position. Like, it looks good for Ukraine when he plays in that position as well.
Yeah. That's why he came. Remember, he was a midfielder when they signed him. It's only when Pep came.
Unless
made him into left back. So. Let's
be real. Him and Partey in that double pivot is an upgrade on Xhaka. But again, I think he only goes into midfield if Tierney can stay fit.
Yeah.
You can't rely, you know what I mean? You can't rely on their. I forgot who their backup fullback on
Tavares.
Tavares is that? Come on now, like, you know what I mean?
So I'm saying Tavares ain't really the guy.
Yeah, exactly,
Zinchenko, I think, is a great signing.
Yeah, man. Goonali saying Baby has the number 8 and plays on the hospital bed monthly. Who's Baby? Baby who?
Naby, innit?
Naby.
Keita, innit?
Okay. When I saw Baby, I thought they were trying to call. No, because you know some of them call Erdegaard Baby Bergkamp.
No, they don't.
Oh, no.
They do, but they do. But they do. Like,
Gary, you're joking right now.
They call him Baby Bergkamp. That's why I thought he's talking about him. I was like, whoa.
Bergkamp. First of all, there's no Baby Bergkamp at Arsenal. I promise you for free.
No.
There is none. Zero. Absolutely
none.
There's none.
Big up Ilyas. Big up Ilyas in the chat. He's saying ESR needs to pull up his socks and play some football.
Hey, put up the socks, my bro. You can't be doing the low socks anymore, man.
Yeah,
only Trent and Thiago can rock that.
No, this is it.
Man. Sui Jr. saying Arsenal JDP system will make them batter low-level teams at home like Man City do, unlike us who have to go blow for blow almost every game because Klopp won't switch up the tactics. Facts.
Don't do this, bro. Don't do this, bro.
Oh my God.
What did he mean by JDP?
Yeah, what's JDP? I don't get it.
Yeah, now that I can read it, acting like I understand, but I don't know.
Honestly, the rest, I just didn't understand
I think
JDP.
it's just the possession. It's it's only keeping the ball. I saw it on Twitter. It's like it's something possession.
These new terminologies,
Yeah,
man,
you
I
know
can't really keep up.
But it's facts. Let's not even get there because my head.
We'll
You
say
know
that
what?
for
I
another
think
day.
by the end of the stream, I'm gonna pop off in it.
You're gonna say them 2 words,
I
innit?
see it like boiling it.
You're gonna say them 2 words.
Listen, if I said them 2 words, I don't think I'd be able to show my face anywhere near.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
I don't think you're able to go Liverpool again. They'll rush you.
Yeah, ever again. And I just won the ballot as well, so I won't even be attending.
Yeah.
I'd have to give that away. Oh man. Assad in the chat saying, "Is that Roms I see?"
Assad, we just did a Chelsea segment, so once you finish this stream, go back and watch the first half an hour.
I want to let him, Assad, please, in the comments as well. Drop us. What else do you guys need? Do you think Koulibaly and Sterling's enough?
Yeah.
Like, what's it saying? Are you panicking? What's going on? Anfield Analytics, Jack, what's going on, man? Do you think Zinchenko will be used at left back or in midfield like he does for Ukraine? So yeah, just echoing what the guys are just saying.
Do you know what? Zinchenko a little bit closer to Jesus as well. Like that partnership, you never know what. Like Jesus dropping deep, linking up with Zinchenko from that left hand side. I'm with Roms what he says about Jesus. If Jesus came before Aguero came, he's a legend. He's a Man City legend.
Yeah,
I think if they play him at a number 9, where his natural position is, when he came in, I was like, this guy is like the real deal.
Yeah. He's been one of my. You know what? That's actually a segue into the next player. I think we're going to wrap up Arsenal soon, right? But my 2 favorite players from City in this Pep era have literally been Sane and Gabriel Jesus. Now, Sane, what do you not make out of them links? They're fresh. They're a couple days off. Like, I personally think he won't even pick up the phone if Arsenal call. But there's a conversation
going in, but Sadio going in.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking.
He's going to be the main man. You're going to play Sadio week.
And Arteta knows him.
I'm not going to lie to you. If they had a forward line of Sane, Jesus, and then Saka,
that's dangerous, isn't it?
And then they've got the depth on the bench in the Pepe's.
Pepe, Pepe, Emil Smith Rowe, Martinelli, Nketiah. He's looking.
It wouldn't actually be that much of a. I hope Lee's not watching. You get too excited, but
look, breaking news.
G's just thinking Liverpool's bench. No, like,
bro, I'm sitting here hearing you name like players like of this kind of ilk, and I'm looking at my bench thinking, yeah, that would be nice. That would be really, really nice.
Yeah, Ilyas is saying Fabrizio Romano's just done it. Here he goes, Zinchenko. So,
you know what? North London. as a whole, have done the best business, man. They actually,
they have,
what
man.
both them clubs are doing. It's
gonna. I think that's where it's gonna be super. That's why I say it's gonna be interesting with the Arsenal. But you're right, North London in general this season they've got, because I was talking to my boy yesterday and we were talking about clubs that need to win a trophy like next season. So I listed like a whole host of clubs who these are the trophies they have to kind of win in order to kind of keep pushing. And I was looking at Tottenham were one of them. I said they need to just win any trophy.
They're number one.
Yeah, they're like in England.
If
they're
they
number
don't win,
one.
I already said it, G, as well. I've said it in other streams. If they don't win in the next 2 years, that whole project is finished. League is under immense pressure. They're in debt because of the stadium. They've splashed out all this money now for Conte. The next manager that's going to come in is going to say, I don't want all these players. It's going to be crazy.
Jerry, though, would you even say next 2 years? For me, it's this next year. Like after this next year.
Yeah, but
Conte ain't saying
context to that. I apply context because if Spurs somehow finish like second and it's really, really tight and do a madness, or that gap to City and
you're right.
It gives Conte the belief that it can happen next year because he knows that Lever's going to back him and he's going to spend the year after. But if they're far away, if they're like 6th again, 7th, it's over. It's over.
I was going to say, are they actually in debt for the way they're spending? Like,
yeah, but they are.
This is why Arsenal fans must kind of be fuming because they were told after they bought the Emirates, we're in debt. We can't go out and buy these. But then you look at your next door neighbours.
Arsenal didn't want to gamble.
I was just about to say, they didn't want to gamble.
What Spurs are doing. We haven't won anything anyway. We're not a team anymore. This is the best manager we're going to have in a very, very, very long time until we need to go back to a kind of Poch-esque type of manager that's going to have to build us up again. Let's just dash everything at him and hope it works. And they're putting all the chips in because if it don't work, tough. Like we're in debt anyway. We're finished. And that's what they're doing. Arsenal, a bit more prestigious, never dropped out of the top 4, were consistent. They wanted to maintain that. They wanted to maintain it. So it meant that they weren't spending like that. They were relying on, obviously, Wenger's genius, essentially. But, boy.
I've seen that story before.
When you look at what Spurs are doing now, like, that's what Chelsea should be doing. Like, Antonio Banderas now, he's coming out like full-on Zorro. He's like carving the Z's in the stadium and everything. Like, he's bringing in the Musketeers. He's bringing in Lenglet. He's bringing in, like, these players who they kind of have something to prove, or they're coming on the back end of the career where they can still do a job. I think Perisic can still do a job. Lenglet's got something to prove. Bissouma, he's always been looking for that big move, so this is his time. Great moves from Spurs, I think.
So what we saying for Lenglet, because obviously that's an area that everyone's talking about. Obviously, we already spoke about. They obviously got Bissouma.
They needed a ball playing centre back.
And obviously since the last op review, they've obviously signed Jed Spence now as well and Lenglet. What are we saying about that?
My words, no, Jed Spence is an unbelievable signing for Spurs. Jed Spence, I said this last season, innit, G, about Nottingham Forest. Like, Jed Spence, he was either going to fall flat and have no career whatsoever, or he's going to make that move and just climb and watch this season. He's an unbelievable right back.
The only team last season that kept him quiet was us, because in that quarterfinal, we nullified him quite a lot. But every game I've seen him play, Ash, you're spot on. That I was going to say, how come you said he'll either be flat out? Did you not? Was it?
Do you know what it is? I think it's just more of
at Middlesbrough as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think there's been question marks before about like attitude in training, like thinking he should be playing at a higher level.
Okay, yeah.
So I think it was either this season. I think he would have gone with Nottingham Forest and been like Cucurella is now. Everyone's talking about Cucurella to Man City. I think Jed Spence would have been next season after everybody seeing him going to a bigger club. But I think this move now is like, right, I'm at a big club. This is where I should be. Watch what I can do. It's like Reece James, isn't it? Like Reece James was at Wigan. He learned his trade down there in the lower leagues, and now, as much as it pains me to say it, Reece James is a top-class player, top-class right back.
Yeah. So, Lenglet, do you think that's a good signing then, G?
I think, yeah, kind of. You know, let me not lie. I don't even rate him like that. I don't personally rate him. But for them, maybe. But at the same time, I look at Spurs and I think to myself, yeah, you're signing these cute players and that, pause. But at the same time, you're putting yourself in a position where you've had Davison Sanchez, you got Eric Dyer. Your only good centre back is probably Romero, someone that you bought like the other day. The rest are kind of wishy-washy with it. Lenglet, is he really the guy?
Yeah, but why do you think they brought Lenglet and Perisic? Because they've no winners in that team.
Yes,
like,
and
that's why they've brought these guys in, like Lenglet.
To add to that,
go on, Roms.
Sorry to cut you off. To add to that, I think we all agree. None of us rate Eric Dyer like that, or we don't hold him in high regard. However, him and Romero, some centre backs aren't good individually, but they excel in a partnership, right?
Mm-hmm.
Them two, the back end. Correct me if I'm wrong, you lot. Spurs in the form table, the last 19 games, so from Christmas to end of the season, we're like a point off us in City. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So I think we have to kind of give Dyer his flowers. And that's why I think word to what Ash said, they brought Longley in to bring in winners. And there's not a mad golfing class, because if Romero Dyer get injured and you're bringing in Joe Rodon, you know what I mean? It doesn't really make too much sense. But I don't think Lenglet starts, but
No, it doesn't.
It will strengthen not even the depth of the squad, the quality. And you never know. Lenglet probably is. I mean, it's a pick of a bad bunch, but Lenglet probably is better than Dyer. And maybe their back four goes to, or back three, whatever he's going to play, goes to another level. You know what I mean? With maybe Lenglet replaces Dyer, and then that partnership becomes the new strong partnership.
Lenglet can play on the left as well, isn't it? Like he can play as a left back.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So,
I think it's like for all of these teams, it's all the same thing. Even Liverpool as well. It doesn't matter what level your team is at. If the quality in backup doesn't really match it, you'll always notice that golfing class, regardless. It doesn't really matter. Like we know, obviously, Liverpool and City up there, but if Arsenal don't fix up their quality in depth, you'll notice that straight away. They'll go from being a team who could finish top 4 to 6. Same with Spurs, same with Chelsea. All of them, it's just that same. Man City seem to be the only team that I can think of who, player for player, they're kind of exactly the same. There isn't much difference in who kind of comes in, etc., etc.
Yeah, man. Like just obviously, Assad here saying obviously why the man them gassing up Spurs.
That's kind of what I was saying. Yes, we're kind of average.
But you say that, and I want to rebuttal that. The reason being is because you expect teams to do like their due diligence in terms of these players. We've got this portfolio, right? The only thing you can really ask and expect from a team is that, unlike some other teams, you address the positions that need to be addressed. Mm-hmm. And if you look at what Spurs have done, regardless of whether you rate the players or not, they needed a right back, they got a right back in. They needed a centre back, they got a centre back in. They needed more depth in midfield, they got a midfielder in. They needed depth on the left, they got a left winger in. They even needed backup for Kane, and everyone said there will be no backup for Kane. There will be no striker coming in. They've got in Richarlison.
Yeah.
You have to rate what they've done. You have to. Of course, at the end of the season, you can then look at it and be like, oh, you know what? It hasn't worked out. These players aren't good enough. And you can look at the or whoever that was bringing in the players, and you can get at them. But at the moment, you have to just look at who they've brought in.
Do you know what?
Just to add to that, what better manager is there to squeeze that extra 10 and 20% out? Because I don't rate Richarlison. I can't stress this high enough. I do not, and it's not the whole Everton thing. I couldn't really care less about Everton, but I just, you know, you get a feeling when you watch certain players. I just look at him and that you're not that good. Cool. One thing I love about him, I'll give this to him. He's on the shithousery thing, and he's very passionate. Combine that with a passionate manager. He's gonna go up another level. I can see it already happening, but I don't rate him how some Tottenham fans acting like he's the second coming now just because they signed him. But I've got 2 Tottenham friends that were dissing him last year, Everton. So do you know what I mean?
Say so they got the thing.
Yeah, of course he did.
Yeah, bro. For a bit of last season, he had the little.
He did. Yeah. You see, this is why I don't like you. This is why I don't like you.
Do you know what though? What Rob is saying, that's what I wanted to say. It's true. Look at the documentary that Spurs did. What did Mourinho keep saying? We've got nobody who's a horrible bastard. Like with nobody in there. Conte is that type of manager who likes that type of player. You look at Højbjerg now. Højbjerg's got that inside of him. Richarlison is going to get under so many people's skin. Do you know what? Harry Kane, low key, gets under so many people's skin by the little niggles, the little lean backs, the little kicks.
That's dangerous. I hate when he does that.
Harry Kane's sly. I'm telling you now, with Richarlison, some of those centre backs, left backs, they're going to get riled up next season, and that's going to play into Tottenham's hands.
100%, man, 100%. So, Lenglet, I guess, as I said, I think he just gives them balance as well. I think he's left-footed, he's good on the ball, helps to be a bit more progressive. And I think I'm interested to see that partnership of Dyer in the centre with Romero and Lenglet either side. I think it could be really, really good. And to get him on a loan as well is actually crazy, considering Barca haven't got any players, any centre-backs. It's actually
wait, but then I ask you like this. Do you reckon he plays a 3 at the back? Because there's talk he reverts to a 4.
I don't know. I think Conte's always been at his best with a 3.
I think he has to.
So a 3-4-3.
Yeah,
then,
they've no creative midfielder in it. They've no creative midfielder, so they've got to play the 2 central midfielders.
Yeah, or 3-4-1-2, and even play one of them in the hole, one of the forward line in the hole, because obviously they've got Kulusevski as well.
But he's more better off the right, isn't it? So I don't know who they would.
Yeah, but for Sweden, he's played in the hole because he's not the fastest. So it depends. I guess it just gives them more fluidity to play different systems as well. Because now they've got Richarlison involved, they've got Son, and they've got Kane. That forward line isn't bad at all.
And then even Mora to come off the bench. He's not the greatest, but he's still quality.
I forgot about Mora. I forgot about him. Wow.
Spurs are the team that are going to bridge the gap to.
I've been saying nailed on third, Ash. I've said it for weeks now. For me, they're nailed on third. That they probably don't want to put this pressure on themselves. But if they don't get third for me, well, actually, let me not say third specifically, but I reckon they'll get top 4. But I think with the signings and the manager they have, I see them in a better position than United, Chelsea, and Arsenal. I think they do get third when it's all said and done.
Liverpool get 2 injuries in attack, 2 injuries in midfield, and I'm telling you now, Tottenham could easily finish above Liverpool. Easily. Because their depth is so much stronger than
I'd have to go. We say that, but it's only based on assuming that these individuals play really well. Because if you look at it and then Jed Spence is just really bad. You know, when they signed Reguilon, everyone was like, oh my God, look.
Oh my God, they still got it.
Exactly. Or Doherty. When they signed Doherty, everyone was like, oh, you know what? That right-hand side was really bad. It didn't work out. And then what happens is that if you're looking at it and you're not rating these players, like think about it. Liverpool, like if we go back to Liverpool, we've got numbers, I guess. We got numbers, and if all of them played at the level we wanted them to play at, it would be great. If all our signings played at the level we wanted to be at, it will give us all this confidence. But your depth starts to look weak when you don't trust the players you got on the bench. That's the problem.
Yeah. And you know what, Ash, what you said is true. If we get all these injuries, but realistically, I've even said to Gia and Jerry and other streams, other than Curtis Jones, our midfield is injury prone. Fabinho, it goes over a lot of Liverpool fans' eyes, but Fabinho is quite injury prone. Thiago don't even have to say anything. Naby, Ox, the rest, they're just all quite. I think Curtis Jones, the only one that's kind of a mainstay, other than the eye injury, I can't remember what not. But Tottenham now, on the other hand, Basuma gets 3 or 4 injuries a year. Harry Kane gets the annual injury. I don't think he got it last season, but have you realised there's always something in Harry Kane's season, whether it's an injury or loss in form, there's just always something.
Always an ankle. Always starts off the season slow as well.
Exactly. So Spurs have quite a few injury prone players as well, but I do hear what you're saying, Ash, but I still kind of agree with it though. If we get all them injuries, Tottenham, a lot of people don't want to give them respect, but I do feel they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Even more so though, this season with Liverpool, now we've got Nunez as a number 9. He's not dropping deep like Firmino does, like Mane does. So then if we get injuries in midfield, like that's just going to be a massive gulf between midfield and attack. Carvalho has been looking all right to fill. I think if we play with a 10, then our season will be very different. I think we could have a good depth, but we're not. Klopp is not going to play with a 10.
Before we move on to United, we might as just touch on Liverpool quickly.
Do you have to? I'm joking.
G made a comment, and I don't know where it was. I don't know
Jerry looks mad.
Yeah.
No, Jerry I agree with it. Or have I done anything mad?
No, it was just that pause before you spoke. I can tell you're fuming.
G made a comment, saying, why the hell have we signed Nunez if we're not playing with a number 10?
You know what? I big up both of you. Because you said
I'm going to
this.
be honest. Look, I'm Nunez's biggest fan. I think he's the type of striker that we need and all of that. But the way we've played in pre-season, it's not
the way we're playing in pre-season.
And bear in mind, I'm not talking about goals. I'm not talking about all this. Like some fans want to talk about, the touch is bad and this. No. So often he's in the right position, and our players aren't finding him. When they're trying to find him, it's like a hoofball, like a Sunday league type of thing, where it's like a diag, and it's for him to run onto. Majority of our games, we've got the ball when we've got possession of it. So I really don't know what we're trying to do. Like he's being played the ball at mad angles. He's knocking it down to players, and there's no one about to get the seconds.
He needs a 10.
You know what? It's else, Jerry. They're giving. This is what I was saying to people. Yeah, you can make all these compilations. You know the day and age we live in. I'm kind of like you. I wasn't too annoyed because I'm seeing Nunez get into the positions. He's going to get fit or whatnot. But what's annoying me, people are playing him injury balls, and it's making him then look bad. I noticed that a lot. I was like, so all the rival fans that want to banter him, if you actually look at the highlights of our last 2 games, he's getting played some lackluster, tame passes into him, and it's making him look bad. But and the things I want to big up you and G, because you two said this weeks ago. It's I think it's on your first stream, Jerry, or the first to last, whatnot. You two said if we don't get a 10, Nunez won't look the greatest. Both you said that. You said that weeks ago.
Do you know what the problem is? It's I think we do need to play a 10 with Nunez, but we can make it work, but we can't. Diaz and Nunez will not work together because you need a left-sided player like Sadio Mane who's going to drop deep, who's going to come into that hole. Carvalho might fit into that mold. We don't know what he's going to go with, but Diaz and Nunez this season, they're not going to work together because Nunez likes to drift out to the left-hand side. He's forcing it because you can see he's trying to force staying straight through the middle. That's why Trent's trying to whip these balls in behind, and it's just something's not clicking. And I think it's the fact that Diaz, Nunez, they're making the same type of runs. They're occupying the same type of spaces.
But the problem you've got now is that what? So we're now having to sacrifice either having the best of Diaz or the best of Nunez.
That's
Two players on the left.
Jerry, remember we spoke about this on the first tactics board. I think, maybe the first tactics board when we said about Nunez and Diaz. We said it when we did the formations and we were speaking about it. We said it. We literally said Diaz and Nunez. That's not going to be something that's going to bang, as Ash has just said. Look at the way that I know it's preseason and people. I'm not trying to get overexcited because it's only preseason. It can change. They might all of a sudden change it up. We don't know. But what I've seen so far was exactly what I thought I was going to see. Diaz cannot play with Nunez because they both like to do the exact same thing, but they're doing it literally from opposite sides. So Diaz likes to come in and do all of his stuff. He likes to come out, but they're both they need to be on the inside coming out or the outside coming in on the opposite side. Like New Milner long ball to this. Well, it's true.
Seeing that a lot, you know.
It's true. It's like
that Milner has never looked so bad in pre-season than he has this pre-season.
No, but Jerry, it's fine. It's fine.
And I said
it's okay.
He's high on the lactate records in that. He's high.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's what
the best player we've got. Don't worry.
Listen,
you won it again. It's fine.
Even for Henderson's goal that Elliott assisted, that ball didn't reach Elliott. If Matip wasn't there, if Matip wasn't there to block off his man, that would have just went into no man's land.
I'm glad you said it. You know, I was just about to say that ball weren't even successful.
If Matip wasn't there to essentially put a screen on, a basketball screen, and do an Embiid where he just in the post put a screen up for him, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. He can't pass.
Elliot's ball wasn't even meant for Hendo either. Elliot's ball
No,
was
it
meant
wasn't.
for
That's what I said. It wasn't even meant for Hendo. He just kind of got lucky with it.
Have you deeped it? Endo loves that finish, though. Loves
Yeah,
it. He loves
yeah.
Yeah.
Like looking at it still. It's a good finish. It was a good finish.
No, but why is he playing so much in pre-season?
That's what I said. That's
Look at Jerry.
No, but why not
No,
play
but
him?
Jerry's right though.
Why not play that Mabaya, brother? Why not play him?
Bro, like we're not even talking about Oxlade. Why is Alex in Wonderland still at Liverpool? Like, I don't get it. Why 120 grand a week? And we were talking about Sadio Mane on 100 grand a week, 120 grand a week, and he doesn't even play. Like, he's had more free rides than Walt at Disneyland. I'm telling you now. Like,
Bro.
Oxlade-Chamberlain needs to go.
You three, do you know there's one player who I might be wrong about? And G and Jerry, Ash, if you're watching last couple of streams, I've not been his number one fan. I've been slating him. But one player that has slightly impressed me in pre-season, I've got to give him his flowers, is Tyler Morton, you know. And Jerry, you even said, if Klopp keeps playing him in the midfield, he obviously sees something in him. Like, you know what I mean? A lot of, to break in our midfield's hard. And he's been playing a lot pre-season. I know he's done a rotational thing, but I may have got that wrong. I'm going to give him this season, but I may have got that one wrong because I didn't know he was that technically good as that.
Listen, what I'm saying, and I said it before, whether you're his biggest fan or not, whether he can make it at Liverpool or not,
He's going to play.
You have to be of a certain level at that age to go and play in the San Siro. Having not played any game, you just make your debut and just like, there you go, and then you play, and then the next game you go and play Tottenham in it as a single pivot by yourself in midfield. When you think about it, tell me another midfielder at 18, 19 or whatever that went and played in midfield by himself. The only one I remember, and if he was a bit older, is Billy Gilmore as of recent times. He had a good game against Liverpool.
Yeah.
But he didn't play as a single pivot though. By himself.
He was in a double, innit?
He was a double.
That was in the FA Cup game when we lost.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You have to give him his flowers. Like, you got to be some player at 18 or 17 or however old he was.
You know, I was harshing him because I'm judging him again in that Spurs game when he's got Naby and Milner next to him, which you don't want to have next to you. But because Ash, I've been slating more for the longest, said he's not good enough to get on our team, whatnot. But from what I've seen, these two cameos in pre-season, I said it on Saints channel, I say it on this channel, I might be wrong. I'm actually going to just shut my mouth on him. I just need to see a bit more.
I think what we've always said is Morton's got the technical ability 100%. Like, we've seen that. But does he have that? It's the physicality that you need in the Premier
League. Yeah. Iron brew and refreshers diet in the morning.
It literally is, man. They're all on it.
Can we not get back to the fact that James Milner is still here starting games in the pre-season? I know we're talking about Morton and that, and big up Morton.
Yeah, but G, like you're saying, we're talking about Morton starting in a Liverpool. We should never be having that conversation when we are the world's best team.
That's why I'm not even getting into this debate about Morton.
We shouldn't be talking about that.
Should I even bring up our links to the Nunez from Sporting, or should we just all know that's not going to happen? Is there even a point? There's no point, is it?
There was no. I think someone even put it in the comments. I was like, don't even worry about that. We're not saying.
You know what it is? It's because the Portuguese media have been spot on with a lot of with Vieira to Arsenal, Paulina to Fulham, Nunez to us. They're saying it's pretty much a done deal. Like, Liverpool kept this one quiet. The only I don't think it will get done, but the only reason that makes me think possibly is because we do our stuff quietly, and these are normally the transfers you don't hear of. Then the next day, we've agreed a deal. So I don't think we will, but I wouldn't. Same time, I wouldn't be surprised by the end of this week if we've agreed a deal with him. I wouldn't, because when you hear less noise, that normally means it's going to get done.
If we do sign him, then in answer to what you're just saying, if we sign him, then I'm looking at Klopp thinking, then you chat a lot of garbage, because 2 minutes ago you two were telling everybody we don't need a midfielder, we have enough midfielder unless someone comes to me and says I want to leave, etc., etc. We've been spun this whole lie clearly for 2 years that we don't want to buy Bellingham at this point in time. Clearly we've all been making that up in our heads. But then if you go sign this guy who is not of the quality of, say, Bellingham or Barella, now I'm looking at you thinking, bro, I don't even get what you're telling us now. Like, are you Do we need a midfielder now? I don't even know. Do you want a midfielder? Do you like Bellingham? Did you even want Bellingham?
With the whole Klopp situation, I'm not going to lie. If we go and get a midfielder after him telling me we don't need a midfielder, we're not in for a midfielder. Morton, wow, in the number 8, crazy. We have Ox, we have Naby, we have all these players, yeah? If he goes and says that, I'm sorry, I can't rate him. He's a wallad. Yeah. He's a wallad. And the reason, and it's true. And the reason why he is because I can now not trust what comes out of your mouth.
Yeah.
I'd rather you not speak. I'd rather you just say nothing.
What he used to do. What he used to do, literally.
Exactly. I'd rather you just say nothing. Oh, look, we're in for some players, we're always trying to strengthen the squad. We're always trying to be better than we are. But if he goes and we get a midfielder, the whole argument of FSG, this is Klopp. And that just emphasizes to me, and it's either he's lying to us, which I don't rate, or FSG are forcing the issue and actually signing players that he doesn't really want.
Could be that.
Which to me just suggests that it's a bit worrying with Klopp.
Like a double-edged sword, isn't it?
Like, do you not worry about Klopp anyway when he tells you we don't need a midfielder?
Yes.
And we've got like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm already worried about what Klopp's saying. I'm already thinking,
When G tagged us in that thing the other day, Elliot's like a new signing. I acted calm, but I was furious. Bro, I was furious. I just had to hold it. I was furious because to me, you can't just be not a Liverpool Football Club. You can't be saying and that he's probably been our best player in pre-season. I'll give it to him. Like Elliot looks like he's going to start this season how he started last season.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be one of the first to say that he's looked immense in pre-season, but don't be calling him a new signing, man. Please.
It's embarrassing. Like, imagine if Man City kept coming out going, "Oh, Foden's like a new signing
after an injury." Yeah,
like, it's embarrassing.
But then maybe it goes back to what Jerry's saying then. So is it FSG forcing an issue? Is it Klopp? Because Klopp always, and I mean every time a player gets injured, I know Klopp isn't stupid. I know he knows what's being said in social media and stuff like that. So he probably does see all of this stuff. But you're coming out saying after Ox's injury, Ox is like a new signing. Naby Keita's like a new signing. Harvey Elliott's like a new signing. Thiago's like a new signing. You've picked the foremost injury bar Harvey Elliott. You picked 3 injury-prone players, and you're telling the fans that when they come back, they're like new signings. Bro, we already know that these guys are unreliable. You don't need to lie to us. So telling us that he's like a new signing, is that to shut us up so that we don't come out and start saying, oh, but we need a midfielder? No, because he came out and did a whole thesis on why we don't need a midfielder the other day. I was like, right. Go on, sorry.
I've got a question for Ash because I know you two's thoughts on. I think, correct me if I'm wrong. I know Jerry 100%, but G, you thought we were never really in for Tchouaméni anyway, innit? You agree with Jerry? Cool. Then I asked you, Ash, do you actually feel we were in for Tchouaméni? Because to me, I feel we actually were in for him. He just picked Madrid over us. It's as simple as that for me. Picked Real Madrid over us, and to me, that shows Klopp is just being naive. That if we were in for him, which I believe we were, we need to address that area. You're just being naive to it. So I want to know your thoughts. Do you actually feel we were in for Tchouaméni?
100%. We were 100% in for Tchouaméni. He chose Real Madrid. It's that simple. He wanted to link up with. If I'm Tchouaméni and I'm looking at a midfield, which midfield do you want to link up with? Cruz, Modric, Camavinga, Valverde, like Casemiro. These are the players that I'd want to link up with, like Henderson on his way out. Maybe Thiago you want to play with, but like Milner, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Keita, you're not going to want to link up with them players. But where I go again, I know they were in for Tchouaméni because we know we need a midfielder. They are telling us that we're going to get Bellingham next summer. We want to get Bellingham next summer, which tells us straight away that we need a midfielder. Because if you're thinking about, right, next summer I'm going getting a midfielder, there's clearly a void in the squad that's making you say no, that's what we're going to go and do. So I just don't understand why not get him now. Anything can happen this season. Like this season, we could finish below Spurs, and then Bellingham's going to look at us and go, what? Why would I
come here?
Plus, if we go in for him next season, Dortmund are going to go, do you know what? Liverpool fans are going to get on Liverpool's back so much if they don't sign him. I'm going to bump another 20 million on his price.
Then Real Madrid and Man City will come in because they're not we're probably the most concrete club right now. Next summer, you're gonna have another 3 that can pay more wages and will look more attractive, man.
100%.
100%. Like I said, I just
Jerry just defeated.
I am not. I'm actually up. Like, no, because in my head, I'm thinking about what happens now. If Nunez isn't good, what happens?
Yeah, and Jota's picked up another injury. I don't want to get on too much, but you know,
even here, Elliot, Carvalho, Milner, Keita, and Nunez. I said to you, I even said in the chat, I said if Salah was injured and Salah was out of our team, and let's say Van Dijk was injured as well,
that's done.
Do we even get top 4?
Why do you think I did the video and I said Salah signing a new deal doesn't change us sorting out Salah's position? Yeah. He could have signed a 20-year new deal, or he could have left on a free next season. It makes zero difference. We need someone on that. Yeah, you see all of that. Like, these are the jokes. These are the jokes that are even flying about because of the position that we're in. But everybody is so happy because Salah signed a new deal. It means that we are going on to pastures new. No, it doesn't. It means we're just staying in the same place with the same players, and we've not sorted anything out. We need to get someone who can cover for Salah. The only difference with Salah signing a new deal means you don't go out and sign a Salah direct replacement. That's the only difference. Now you sign someone maybe like a level below Salah, but can maybe obtain that level later on. But now you're not going to sign anybody. I'm sorry, but Elliot, I mean, you're right in that, but maybe you're not. Maybe you will be, but I don't feel like you're the guy to be playing.
Do you know what got me more than anything? Last match, when you saw that lineup, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Elliot in the lineup, I straight away was like, Ox is a natural central midfielder. There's no Salah. Elliot's a natural right winger. Show us that you can play Elliot on the right wing. Show us what he's going to do if Salah gets injured. We've got a natural right winger. What did they do? Put Oxlade-Chamberlain on the right wing. And
I said because Klopp is stubborn like that. Because this now it's just annoying me. Because Klopp is just stubborn like that. Why would you change up a whole different team and put like players in different formation when you've got players here? You've got Harvey Elliott. Play him on the right side. As you said, Ox is a central midfielder. So you play him in the central midfield. Why would you put him on the right? Ox, you are not a winger. If you're hearing this, you are not a winger. You cannot play on the wing, bro. Just stay in the middle because that's where you'll use your best talents. Harvey Elliott, you're a right winger. Play on the fucking right wing. Sorry for swearing, but it's just, it doesn't make any sense. And then the best player that we've probably had this pre-season, Carvalho, give or take, is Carvalho. And you saw when he's playing with even the little bit he's playing with Nunez, he's trying to get closer, but it's almost like he's being told, I kind of need you to stay on the left, but
and be a bit deeper and
be a bit deeper. And yes. And I'm like, no, like, I don't want Carvalho touching the ball where Fabinho usually would stand. Fuck all of that. I need him near Nunez. I need him as close to Nunez as possible, because when Nunez did that ball and he knocked it down to nobody, I was like, so
why is no one there?
Why is no one here? But he's been told that. Nunez probably got told, listen, look, knockdowns, just knock it down. Someone will be running in. No, change up that. We need a number 10, someone who can play closer to Nunez. So when he does these knockdowns, Carvalho, whoever it is there to score. But we're playing 4-3-3, doing the same dry, crusty thing, and the same things are happening. Even in the win against Palace, I was like, this is the same boring 4 p.m. game, 3 p.m. game that I see on streams during the Premier League season where I'm falling asleep and we're playing the boring football, but we win 2-0. And everyone's like, oh, what amazing. Bro, that was a boring game. I fell asleep. I fell asleep during the game.
Honestly, I was just going to say, I fell asleep 35 minutes and I woke up at 50 minutes. And I was
I woke up second half.
I was like, I can't do my match review now because I've literally
that's exactly what it is. I didn't even do my match review on the game because I fell asleep.
Bro, I just watched highlights. I said, you know what? We scored 2 goals. We didn't do that much, clearly. He changed the team halftime, so I'll be able to get
excited, though. This pre-season, we've just signed an £85 million striker. We've brought in a number 10. This is the time. You've got rid of Sadio Mane, so you've got Diaz as a left wing. Like, this is the time where you play the 4-3-3. Play with the 10. Just play with the 10, but you're just not going to do it. Because who's not here, Jerry, who you always say was the man to adapt everything, who's not here? Buvac. He's not here anymore. So Klopp and Linders are giving it all this with the Steins, Heinz, Yines, Drive, like so happy.
Can someone in the comments let us know if you've read his book? I need someone to let me know if they've read that guy's book. I want to know what it's saying.
I did German, so that's even funnier. Oh, don't kill me.
That's literally what they're doing, though. Like, it's like cringing sometimes to see, like, you can see, like, Pep Linders looking across for approval. Like, come on, just have a bit of personality about yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Them two are kidding me. In Germany, there was something called Oktoberfest, yeah. We could lose 2-0 down to Klopp's mad tactics, and them two will still be doing that inside.
They literally will, man. With those, what are they? Those things like those dungarees.
That they wear the suit, yeah. They're like green.
Oh man, that's funny. We might as well move on now, man, to United. They're winning the kit. Them and Arsenal, I think, RJ. I mean, at the moment, they're doing their thing with the kits, and it looks like their transfers have started to pick up as well.
This is the one team. I don't hate much in life. The only thing I hate is United, but this is the one team I was looking forward to speaking out, because I know it's early, you lot. I know it's early, but I'm seeing slight improvements already, and you know what can work in their favor for a massive gargantuan club like United, for the first time ever, especially in my time, they don't really have any expectation on this season. You know, this could be very, very worrying for the rest of us, because I'm seeing, and people might say, yeah, but it's only 2 games in preseason, whatnot. I'm not going to lie and act like I watched their latter game. I forgot who they even played.
Melbourne victory.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one, but obviously the one against us, they're cool. It's their starting 11 bar Ronaldo that they were fielding. I know people can say De Jong and whatnot, but they're not Eriksen, but they weren't at the club at the time. But even though it's their starting 11, they're actually keeping the ball well. 1-2s, little triangles, just the basics of a ball possession team. And I'm thinking, hold on. See, I don't think Ronaldo will leave. And as much as I do think he does affect them for the worse, he's still guaranteed goals. He'll still probably get another 15 plus league goals. It's just what he does, whether you think he's hindering them or not. But I think United without no expectation. This is why a lot of their fans have been upset, because they've gone into the season with a lot of expectation with the Van Gaals, the Mourinhos, even slightly Oli, because of who they were signing, the caliber of player. He still had expectation, even though he was not a good manager, and we all knew this. But this is the once where, because they've got a new. They've sacked most of their board. I think Murto's coming. He's the one that's coming as a football man, right? And they've kicked out Ed Woodward, that's gone. They've actually got a foot. Steve McLaren's back as an assistant, where I think he's best, because his first team at SC20 and at England and whatnot. He's not the greatest when he's the main man. Yeah. But Fletcher and McLaren with Ten Hag, and then they've got a footballing coach. And I'll be real, I've had to do some research on his CV. He's done wonders with teams that Go Ahead Eagles and whatnot. He's good at working with smaller team. And I just think, and I want them, God forbid they improve. We want United to stay where they are forever if possible, but I think they're going to surprise a lot of people this season, you know. Like I said, I think them or Arsenal to win Europa League, but if I actually had to pick one of them, I do think United will probably win Europa League. I'll call that from early, and it's scaring me, because just the fact they're keeping the ball better is scaring me. We're used to United just hoofing it everywhere.
And their transition
exactly.
Liverpool, when they didn't have the ball really well, their transition, every time they went forward, they did look dangerous.
And I don't rate Bruno either, but he's going to have another good season. Just how they're playing. He's going to have a good season again. I can see it.
Do you know what it is?
Go on, Nash.
With Ten Hag, he's doing it the right way. How I like managers doing it this way. He's coming from the Eredivisie, wherever the Dutch league, and he's bringing Dutch players in who he knows, who are proven in that league, who he thinks will slot in. Like, it makes sense. You're a Dutch manager, bringing the Dutch players. Did Eriksen used to play in the Dutch league as well at some point? Ajax. So he's doing it all the right way. Like they're going to be selling season tickets with clogs soon that they're bringing that many Dutch players in. But I think he's doing it the right way. That do what you're familiar with. Do what. So I don't know what. Sorry about this.
The radar. You said they're going to be selling season ticket with a pair of clogs in the post.
You know what else as well? Like, I kept getting confused. Everyone was like Ten Hag and Eriksen have a relationship. I was like, from what? But apparently, when he come back from his cardiac arrest, he was training with Ajax. So that's where the bond comes from. I didn't even know that till the other day. And Ash, you made a great point. You know, this is what I mean. People that don't understand football are slating him for bringing Dutch players in. They're like, you shouldn't be bringing what you know, bringing what you don't know. And I was like, just think about what you just said. Like,
imagine Klopp just brought in the players that he knew. The one from Dortmund. Gundogan would have been here.
Werner as well. This is the one where, like, the German league.
We would have won more. In my opinion, we would have won more by now.
100%.
Oh, well.
Well, we've not. But we have dominated for the last 5 years, apparently. So it's all good.
Yeah,
imagine that. Imagine being dominated, but the only thing. I don't want to
anyway,
I don't want to do my hands. How about that?
You're scared me, Jerry.
United,
Keywords are coming soon. I can smell it.
I told you he's got to say it with his chest, bro. He's got to say it before the end of the stream, regardless.
Before the end of the stream.
Before the end of the stream, bro.
I'm not at that level yet, though. I'm not at that level.
Give it till at least Christmas, Jerry. You can't hear it until then.
At Christmas, this will be the first one. I'll even the thumbnail will actually be my face just screaming, saying, you know what I mean? Those two words with a hashtag in front of it as well.
Hey guys, watch out for Christmas, the Christmas special, man. Now, when it comes to United, like I agree with Roms, man. They've got no expectations. They've got a decent manager who actually knows what he's kind of doing. But also, as well, the most important thing is they're getting rid of all that crap that was in the back room. Like, I don't know, like all Fletcher and that, like Fletcher, he doesn't know what he's doing, let alone what the guy he has to report to. Like, you can't really.
The only thing he knew what was going on was all those bowel issues he was having, innit?
Oh, real talk.
Go to the toilet and that.
Real talk. Like,
he had to take a break. I shouldn't even laugh. He had to take a break.
But like, you're getting in guys who didn't know what they're doing under a guy who definitely didn't know what he was doing. So nobody knew what they was doing. The owners, remember, all they care about is making money. Pogba, I'll buy Pogba because he's someone they can probably make money off in different ways. Cristiano Ronaldo, I'll buy Ronaldo. They don't care. They're not looking at it from a footballing aspect. When you get someone like Ten Hag in who isn't here for all the show and dance and all of that, and they finally got more football people in, I think United are going to be all right. I think they'll be all right this season. They'll be challenging for top 4, 100%.
I think that's what they need. That's what United needed to do in it. Like, said this time, if Liverpool drop down now, this is the time now I want Liverpool to go 100 million for a player because we've got what we need. We just need that extra push over the line to win things. So this is the point where I want to spend 100 mil. If I'm finishing 6th, 7th, 8th in 2 seasons, I don't want to spend 100 million pound as a Liverpool fan. I want you to build the squad again. And this is what United are doing. They've done it the crazy way. They've been spending the ridiculous money on Fernandes, Sanchez, all these players. But no, they're doing it the right way this season, I feel, in getting the right players in. The free transfer for Eriksen, which is a great signing, by the way. That creative kind of midfielder in that squad is diligent. Look how Juventus have done it. Like, Juventus have done things this way for how many years now? And it leads to success. That's what they're starting to do. I don't like bigging up United, I'm not going to lie, but they're doing it right under Ten Hag.
You know who I always thought United should have signed? Maybe now they're never going to be able to sign him, but I think they should sign someone like Tomori, like from AC Milan. I think he would, if he went to United, first of all, forget Maguire. We can finally get this guy out the door. But even if you do keep Maguire, I just think having someone like a Tomori there, and to be honest, you'd have to get rid of Maguire because I would have Tomori, Lisandro Martinez, and Varane as a free.
I'd play Bailly over Maguire.
Or Bailly. Like, you've got players, man. This is what I don't understand about United. You've got better players, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer forced this Harry Maguire thing so much. I feel United are probably just in a position where they don't want to be that kind of club where when the going gets tough, we just dash you to the curb and blah blah blah. Like they have
You
values,
know,
they have morals and stuff like that. So
this is what's scary, G. This is what's very scary. I think Ten Hag's going to be the first manager to go against the grain. Don't get it twisted. He will start Maguire for the first couple months of the season. But when he realizes,
if you don't do well,
no, not even if he don't. Once he doesn't do well, because we know he's gonna be the first to actually have balls and say, "You're not good enough." The Mourinho's, the Ollies and whatnot. They, you know what is with them? The board are probably saying, "Yeah, but we've paid 80 million for him. You have to start him." Ten Hag's literally going to look upstairs. Well, it's a different regime now, anyway. But he's going to look at them and that. I don't care. I didn't spend this money on this player. I wasn't here when you spent this money on this player. He's not good enough, and he'll drop it. And if they see it's for the better of the club and the results improve, it's going to be happy. Smiles all around.
And do you know what? They're always going to get 50 mil. Like, even if they sold Maguire on, just because he's England international, because everybody sees him as this guy, they're going to get at least 50 million return on him. So it's like 100%. They're not even going to lose so much money. But do you know who the player is? One player that United should have got, and I don't want to say it because I'm a Liverpool fan, but Darwin Nunez is perfect for what United need right now.
Absolutely he's actually perfect for them.
Yeah. But
what you know what?
Bruno behind him.
Imagine.
So what are we saying?
With Sancho dropping deep into that hole, cutting inside from the left. Woo!
So what are we saying? What are we saying about Lisandro Martinez, the 4'3" centre back?
I said 4'3", you know.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know who he was at first. I thought it was some kind of new Hispanic pop star, and then I was like, do you know what? Thank God that PK is not in that team again, because Shakira will be worried. But I think it's a good sign. And if he knows him and he knows he can do it.
He's very technical, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, is he a technical style player? I've not watched him enough, but I think to spend that kind of money on a centre-back, when there are people floating around who you could have got, like Sven Botman, which I think is a great signing for Newcastle. Yes. These kind of centre-backs floating around, De Ligt looking for a new club, and he's got the Holland connections. For him to go, do you know what? I'll go with this guy. He must be good. So,
do you guys go on? No, because it's going to be off the main night topic. Go on.
The last thing on Lisandro Martinez, right? Again, I've only watched him once for Argentina when they played Brazil in the Copa America final. I think he came off the bench. I can't remember if he came off the bench, but I remember seeing him. And then Ajax against Chelsea, ourselves, and I think Juve. So I've only watched him in Champions League and at one time for Argentina. So I'm not going to act like I've watched a lot of him. But one thing every South American player has is that dog in them. Is that fight in them. As to why I think Nunez will do well for us eventually. And our system, I can't say our system right now, but I think eventually our system will cater to Nunez. It's more hope than, you know what I mean? But Lisandro Martinez, he's got the dog in him. And I don't think everyone's saying, but Prem, most physical league in the world. I don't think he'll even play centre back for them. I think he's actually going to play him in the midfield. Yeah, because him with Frankie De Jong in front of him, United are cooking something.
And Fernandez next to them.
Exactly.
But again, it goes back to my point now. They were dead and buried. How did it end up again in a position where their midfield could potentially be Lisandro Martinez, Frankie De Jong, and Bruno Fernandes,
and then Eriksen to come off the bench? Fred, I kind of rate. I'll be real.
Bruno Fernandes is a false nine. They even played Bruno Fernandes as a full. How did they get in this position? I don't get it. They were dead and buried.
The United.
We're out here, sorry, and we're being linked with players like Matheus Nunes. Who is he?
Yeah.
Who is he?
And that's what I love about this panel. We're honest. I'm seeing he's the next this, he's the next that. None of us know who he is. None of us have watched him.
Yeah.
Who is
that's Liverpool fans in general, isn't it? Like, as soon as one player is mentioned, I've been watching this player for like 20 years. I watched him when he played.
Just be honest sometimes. Yeah.
Under 18's like, no, just like, I don't have a clue.
And also, we're saying be honest. We're saying be honest. At the end of the day, just because we haven't watched them, it doesn't mean that they're not good.
Yeah.
We're not saying because we haven't seen them, oh, he's rubbish. No. Obviously, there's only a handful of players that you would have ever seen in the world anyway at any given time. If I haven't seen this person, he's just not on the radar. for whatever reason, he ain't on the Nunez was never on the radar. In fact, I had to do a whole watch videos on him just to even see who the hell is this guy. Like, why are we linked with him? I didn't even understand why.
Let's be honest. Like,
I was listening to Talk Sport earlier, and you just know it's a top red. Top red they come with this certain tone, so you know he's a top red. But he came on, and I stopped listening to Talk Sport years ago. But I thought, let me just flick it on, right? And Top Red called in and said, I think it was Adrian Durham and Alan Brazil. They were just laughing at him. This guy could be the next, like this Matheus Nunes. And even by how we were speaking about him, you know he didn't watch him properly because he was calling him an attacking midfielder. And I think Alan Brazil had to correct him that, no, he's a DM. And he kind of stuttered. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing in itself. That is embarrassing in itself. But he must have come on and said, this guy can be as good as Gerrard. I said, oh, that's when I just picked the radio channel. I was like, oh my God, that's a disrespect. That's a disrespect to Gerrard. And that's why I'm saying, Ash, you're spot on. What, not all of us, because us four wouldn't dare do this, but what a lot of top Reds do is the minute we're linked with a player, they're the second coming. Like, they just need to stop doing that. And you can tell you hadn't watched him from that mistake he made. He's an attacking. No, maybe he can do that role, but that's not fundamental. Because even what G said, I had to go and watch videos and whatnot. Again, I hate watching highlights because it's only going to show your good bits.
Exactly.
But I had to look, and he is predominantly a DM. He looks technically he actually does look a good player. He does, from what I've seen. But again, I'm not going to still lie and say I know he is. I've not watched him at all.
And is that the type of player we need? I'm guilty of it sometimes. Like I say, I'm guilty of it. I will literally back a player if I've watched them. It's like Nkunku last season. I watched him week in. I won't say week in, week out, but so many times. That guy is going to be the next. Like, he is unbelievable. That's why I was saying, if we didn't get Nunez and we went for Nkunku, that's the signing for me. I wouldn't even be asking for Bellingham right now because Nkunku could have played central midfield. He could have played on the left wing if we needed to push someone inside. That's the signing we needed. Nunez right then, I didn't feel like it was the signing that we actually needed. But what I will say is Darwin Nunez is a hell of a player. Like, he is a top-class player.
That's why I'm being patient on him.
It just doesn't fit. From what I've seen, he's not fitting with what Klopp is going to do with him. It's not going to work. And I feel sorry for Nunez.
This is why Klopp needs... Before we get into it, G, do you want to say anything?
I'm laughing because the fact that Roms has just said that he has to almost like be patient with him. I'm like, you realize like we just sold Mane, who is a world-class player, and we're talking about the guy who's coming in to replace him. We have to be patient with him.
Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't have to.
And we've spent 85 million.
Do you think Man City fans are sitting there telling them, yeah, you know what, we got to be patient with him?
You know what, G, I'm saying you got to be patient, not because of Nunez, because of Klopp, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
This is it. It's got nothing really to do with Well, it kind of does, obviously, but it's not his fault at the end of the day. Like, ultimately, you've let a world-class player go, and we replaced him with a not world-class player.
This is what I'm getting. Like, are Liverpool fans like literally this blind? I've been that blind in the past. I think it's only like you two coming out a little bit more. JJ, like having a conversation with JJ up here. Like, it's opened my eyes a little bit because we've let Sadio Mane go, right? We've let Sadio Mane go. We've brought in Nunez. That's the direct replacement. Not proven. May not get the return Sadio does when you're guaranteed. But everyone's happy because it's 85 million. Not interested about Sadio. Mo Salah signs a new contract. Everyone's like, oh, no, but Salah's staying now. Salah was going to stay anyway. We were going to get rid of Salah maybe in a year or two. He was never going this summer. So Salah was always staying. He was in the plans. Then all we've brought in is Carvalho and Ramsey, right? But then we've let go our top goal scorer in the Carabao Cup in the domestic cups. We've let go of Divock Origi, who's a cult hero at Liverpool who turns up when we need him most. Where's the replacement? Like, what's happening at Liverpool? We're blinded.
Sorry, I'm laughing at that comment. Some soulmate business.
What was it? I didn't even see it. What was it?
Judon's the goat, man. This guy.
Can't wait for your soulmate business. And we're seeing him there, just living a good time, innit? Kissing up a thingy like we're better than it. We were better than her. I was better than him.
Days, yo.
Listen, but just going back to what Ash is saying, Ash made a great point on his Insta Live. We actually let go of Nico Williams and brought in Calvin Ramsey. Is Calvin Ramsey good? Is he good?
He could play central.
No. I'm hearing it. But hold on. But you've got Nico Williams, who, and you alluded to it, Ash. He's a Welsh international. He went to Fulham and batted it up at Fulham. Got goals, got assists, all of that whole shebang. Calvin Ramsey.
Got young player of the season in Scottish Premier League.
Again, guys, we're not saying he's rubbish, by the way, before anyone gets onto it.
But we're saying young player of the season in the Scottish League. A lot of people go to the Scottish League to retire, so he's not even got much competition in that sense. He's got his only competition are young Scottish lads.
I've seen the best players in the Scottish League, the best players. They all leave and go to the Championship, and some of them don't even make it. What happened to Sinclair? That's
Ryan Kent couldn't even get a place in our academy team.
Kemar Roof, what happened to him?
I see something about him today.
These men go to the Scottish League and it's getting me mad. Hold on, and do what's going to happen? We've got Calvin Ramsey, right? But if he's rubbish, we're then going to look at and oh my God, I just had a revelation. Who's primed and ready?
You know why we got Ramsey? You know why we got Ramsey?
Ready to put on his boots and slot in that right back if Trent is injured.
I don't even want to mention his name.
Milner.
I was going to say Milner.
It's Milner.
They put Gomez there as well, though. That's why they're taking the risk.
Milner's the one that's played there in pre-season.
Yeah.
It's Milner. Milner's ready. He got the extension because Milner said to cool, I'll be the right back.
Do you know what? It's not even that. I'm seeing Isaac Mabea. Like, no disrespect to Mabea, but why am I not seeing Connor Bradley? Because if you're letting Nico Williams go, Connor Bradley was a ready-made replacement in there. Like, he was making the progression. He played in the cup matches. He was showing that he could do it. I'd rather see someone who knows the club, who's been at the club for how many years, step in and take a risk on them rather than just taking a risk on some... And I don't want to disrespect Ramsey because I want to give him a backing because he's a new player. I've not seen him play, so I can't. But Nico Williams deserves so much more respect. He will do a good job at Nottingham Forest, 100%.
Seaman Bayer. I had never seen Mabea. I thought Skilly Ben come off tour and just slotted in for our right back. I didn't have a clue Mabea. Normally I'm good with our youth, but I did not have a clue who that was.
Mabea's been playing in the under-18s. He's not even played like under-23.
23. So I mean, and just to add to what Jerry said, the only other reason I can think we signed Ramsey is to carry on that Scottish tradition. You know, like as soon as is the Ian St. John's, the Dark League. I think we tried to go down that route. Like it's a sentiment thing.
What are you trying to say? Klopp wanted a Robertson Spider-Man moment where they're like.
Yeah. And it's sentimental, like even the stats that apparently you've never won a league without a Scotsman, like they just want to carry on that tradition. That's the only other thing I can think of.
What if he's the midfielder?
He even said in his interview, innit?
Then we've no right back.
Klopp said, I mean, with Calvin Ramsey, it's great. You can play in midfield as well. What if he's the midfield? Maybe he's Bellingham.
I was just about
maybe he's the answer.
That worries me when you start saying things like that, like, oh, he can play midfield. My brother, you just sold a right back and let another right back go out on loan. And you're telling me about bringing in this guy and you're telling me he can play midfield. Fuck all of that. I need him to play the right back that we've just let go. I need him to play that. This is Klopp. Sometimes some of the things that you say, it doesn't really make sense and compute to what we're actually trying to do. It's almost like Klopp has got his own mind, which is fine, and his own way of thinking, etc. But sometimes they don't align with what's going on the pitch. Like, bro, everything Ash just said there doesn't even make sense. You don't let your second choice right back go, and then you let your third choice right back go on loan to bring in another right back who we don't even know is going to be good. We know he can play midfield. Like we then get told Carvalho he's going to start in the forward areas and move back to midfield. Like, come on, bro. Like,
do you know what though?
Keep doing this, man.
G, what type of guy is Klopp? Because we know what he is. Would he rather? Does he take more pleasure in Mo Salah signing him as a right winger, turning him into one of the best players in the world, or does Klopp take more credit from turning Wijnaldum from a striker into a holding midfield player? 100%, he's more happy with converting a striker into a guy that can do the job for the team, and that defines Klopp. Klopp wants Elliott to sacrifice him, sacrifice glory, sacrifice goals, sacrifice everything, so that I can go at the end of my career. I turned Harvey Elliott into this central midfield, box to box kind of player, instead of just letting players do what they do best. If we let Gini Wijnaldum do what he does best, he would have been Gundogan. That season when Gundogan was a defensive midfielder and Pep said, you know what, you go and play as a 10, and he got a bag of goals, that's what Wijnaldum would have done.
I've said it on this show many times, right? If you're a silky 10 or creative player, just don't come to Liverpool right now. Klopp's going to nullify your qualities. You're going to be doing doggy work. Oh, cool. That's the natural industry. You have to work hard at any club. But you know what I mean? He's going to nullify your qualities. You're not going to be able to drop the shoulder and get the nice shot off. It's done. It's actually done. Last time we had that was Coutinho, and we were putting 6, 7, 8 past Maribor and stuff. But I've said it many times on this show. If you're a silky 10 or 8 right now, unless you see different or Klopp decides, I need to change tactics, we know he won't, just don't come to us. Because I was even saying, forget even his Netherlands form. What Gini was doing in the Prem for Newcastle, getting double digits, like it's a mad thing. I sound like a broken record. I've said it too many times, but it's upsetting, man. It's actually upsetting.
Yeah. Sui Jr. here saying, or obviously regarding Klopp, when he asked journalists, tell me who can play or play this position like this player in our team. And I wish I was in that boardroom. I wish I was there.
Just start screaming out names.
I wish I was in that report room when he goes and says, who can play? I'll be like, I've got a list prepared. And players that are better. Like,
literally, innit?
You'll probably look at you, Jerry, like, no, I don't want any of that.
But the thing is, though,
I'll probably get kicked out. I'd rap him, I'm this close. I'm gonna bang him in his face, bro.
They've been doing this for time. Like, if you notice, like, what's that place, Squawker? If you notice, they've done like a comparison thing where they were like, this is the defensive midfielders who could potentially come in our team or whatever. So they're the ones who are even showing you that, these players would easily come into Liverpool's team. Here's a list of players for you. But Klopp's moving like the list we've got at the moment is fine. Like, this is the bit that pisses me off about him. Like,
do we even have a list?
Or do we even have a list?
That's what I was just gonna say. There's not even a list.
But that's and look, that's the saddest thing about this year. We have to make jokes about.
You just have to laugh. You don't laugh, you'll go mad.
You'll cry. You'll cry. There's no point even being angry anymore, because that's what I said the other day. I said, I don't even care. Like, I'm not even fighting with Klopp or Liverpool anymore. Hey ho, let's just do it. You want to keep Ox? Yes, I'm team Ox now.
I'll say it to you, Ash, as well, right? I kept saying it to G and Joe. To just save my sanity, I'm going into this season with no expectation. So if we do miraculously win the Premier Champions League, then it's a bonus. If we don't,
why am I having to put my mind state in the underdog mode?
Because of how we're moving.
No, I've said it. Look, the analogy's coming out. I've had it. It's like me going to rave saying, if I get a girl to come out with me and come out, and if I draw a girl, then great. I'm not going with expectations. I know no girl's gonna watch me. I'm not really gonna go out. So I'm not gonna make the effort. I'm not gonna go get a trim. I'm just gonna roll out and, oh my God, a girl wants to come back with me. Dead, man. Dead.
No, you actually
that's dead. It's dead.
It's dead.
You're actually right.
Why does he have no confidence in himself? Is he like, I don't know, is he
Hey, this comment section.
He's lacking something down there. Why has Klopp not got the cojones? I don't get it, man.
And he remember even had that interview. He's the same one to say we have best centre backs, best DM, best left, best right back, best keeper. Yeah, times what that I keep going back to it. That Mane post, I punched my wall. Times one on everything. No.
Do you know what Klopp is though? Klopp has never, where you can say United bringing Mourinho, Conte into Spurs, Pep into Man City. Klopp has never been this guy that's got the best team that keeps the team at the top. Klopp has always been the guy that revolutionizes a club, that brings a club from absolutely nothing to then challenging. But then look what Dortmund did. Dortmund were the best team in the Bundesliga. But what happened with them? They didn't reinforce. They didn't try and stay there. They just sold the best players. And he was happy with that Champions League run with a little title in the Bundesliga. And that's where Klopp fails against everybody else. He doesn't know what to do with a team that is the best in the world to improve that team.
Yeah, that's why when the best players start to go and leave, instead of going and when he's at a club in a position where they can be like, you know what, we got rid of Mane, I want an Mbappe, or I want this player, or I want that player, or I want the next best thing to come out of whatever. He goes and looks in his files and he's like, look, in the Lost Scrolls in the Austrian League, we found him. I mean, grab him.
The Lost Scrolls.
I mean, whereas you can do that when you've got nothing, but when you've got the money, why are you still, do you know what I mean, going to the market and haggling for? I don't get it.
This goes back to Asad's point. Yeah, not too long ago we were happy to get fourth. We're not there anymore. We're not there anymore.
No more, bro.
And just to answer his other thing, I'm not a flip flop. I still do think it's two things. We're system change and a midfielder away. I do feel these again. I know Jerry and G-Man agree with me, but I do believe if we do get a midfielder and Klopp changes the system, I believe in our club. I do believe we get over that line and we do win the Prem. I'm not flip flopping Asad, but yeah, I've never said best 11 in the world though. That's never come from me. You're fitting words into my mouth. I've never said that.
That's top reds. That's top reds chitter chat. But you gotta realize we've been saying like I'm not going to speak for Jerry. I'm not going to speak for Ron. I'm not going to speak for Ash. But I'm sure we've been saying this for time. This isn't something that's just come because of this season. I've been talking about Liverpool and the depth since we won the league. When we won the league, I was talking about, we need to just keep that reinvestment going because if you keep on reinvesting, you'll stay there. And
but they did. They went and got Sepp van den Berg that summer. And we were like, we were unbelievable, man. Sepp van den Berg, he was a bad boy at Preston. That's what we signed him for.
Fair enough. So we didn't get the quality of player that I wanted then, shall we say. But this is all we're saying. It isn't, as Rom said, we're not flip-flopping or we're not just being new fans and just coming now. No. We've been talking about this for ages. Last season, the season before, we've been watching how the team has been kind of progressing or moving forward, so to speak. Last season, Asad's probably looking at it from a place of, because we almost did this. Forget the almost, because that's all if, buts, ands, or maybes. That never happened. What actually happened is we didn't win the Premier League. We didn't win the Champions League. That's what actually happened. We weren't 1 point away. We weren't one kick away. We weren't a Courtois world class. No, we didn't win. Everything else is all just if, buts. We don't know if that could have happened or whatever. We were relying on another team to do us a favor. And you're looking at us to say, we were close. We weren't fucking close.
Can I ask you something? And I love this question, especially when it gets asked to us. I'm going to start off with mine. I've always said, if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best. People are going to say, in mathematically, if we had beat Spurs, that's where we lost the league, whatnot. I think we lost the league, that 2-2 draw at City. I even remember in the preview to that game, I was saying to Saint, if we don't beat City, forget the league. I don't care. There will be twists and turns. But them twists and turns will still be in City's favour. And I was right. He was saying, no, there's still a chance, etc. So there's always a chance. But we've not won at Etihad. I think this is coming up to the 8th season in a row now. It's a joke. And I said, that's what I was going to ask you three. Like, where was the title? I don't want to divert too much. I think we've covered most of the teams. But where was the title? What was the game that you lot kind of knew it was lost? Because for me,
it's 3-2 away to West Ham. It's the 1-0 loss to Leicester City. It's the 2-2 against Brighton. It's not
the losses. It's the drop. We drew every single game against the other top four sides.
Yeah,
drew every single game.
Yes.
Liverpool traditionally turn up for the big games. It's like we flip-flop now. We can beat the lesser teams, but when we turn up for these big games and those teams are scared of us now, because they are scared of us and they sit back, apart from Man City, everybody else sits back and they look for that counter. But they know Liverpool are just going to play into the hands, because what do Liverpool do? And I think Jerry said this before, that Liverpool like to draw teams on by inviting them in behind and exposing our goal just so we can try and counterattack, because we don't know what to do when teams sit in front of us. So we always go, do you know what? Get in behind, try and have a shot on our goal, because we might get a quick recycle and then catch you out when you're on your way back. That's how Liverpool play. We need to do what Man City do and be able to control the pace of the game. This is why Thiago's important, because he can do that. He can control the pace of the game. He can play that quick pass. He can change the direction. But Liverpool just look
then
void of options.
how many games is he going to be available for? This is the
that's it.
worry.
It's the games against the top teams last season where we lost it, I think.
But it's just, which is weird, because usually we beat the top team.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's one thing you can give to Klopp. His record against the other top four, whatever season it may be, and someone even alluded to it in the comments. 4 out of the last 5 seasons, we've been up unbeaten in the league at home. And the season where we were beaten was we were injury stricken, but that's all nice and lovely. But to have one prem to show for them 4 unbeaten seasons, it's just,
it doesn't matter, man.
You know what I mean? I don't really look into stuff like that.
And it's mad. And I think the best way to end the best way to end this whole Liverpool thing and move on to the obviously Leeds, which we're going to talk about. Is obviously here Van der Berg and Adrian after winning the Champions League. Do you know what we did? We went and won the Champions League, and it's like we were so full of love. We just gave to charity, and we looked at a young boy in a random league and said, "Here you go, and move to Liverpool, secure your family's life." Adrian, you've been a dead goalkeeper in the Prem, you've been a dead goalkeeper in the Spanish league, but here you go, come on a ride with us. We actually done a Jesus, like we fed the poor, Lazarus and all them. I don't know, man. This is just.
Literally, the only season we've ever progressed is the season where Van Dijk came in, Robbo came in, Fabinho came in, and I think it was Ox as well. But Ox was good when we signed him, but it was, I don't know if it was the 17-18 summer, I think it was. That summer we actually backed the team, and our net spend was high. Every other season, and I broke this down the other week on a stat show. Every other season, we have done like for like. Our profit and losses, they more or less balance out on the movements that we do. No. But we think we're bringing in quality. Even if you look like last season, who did we take out? Shaqiri. Who else went out last season? Wijnaldum. Who did we even bring back in? Like, we brought Diaz in midway through the season. Kanate, but we needed Kanate the year before. It's like we work a season back and then we bring them in. This is why I wouldn't be surprised if we brought a central midfielder in this summer, because they'll go, that's your Genie replacement. Instead of it being, that's your player that's going to win us the league, this is your person that just replaces Genie and he does a job.
But then we're going to be in that position next season where we need that player to come in and win us.
Yeah, and there's another issue.
Another summer, I'd say we progressed, but our objectives were different. Would have been summer 16 when we bought the Matip, Wijnaldum and Mane, because we did progress. But again, our objective was only to get top 4, which is easier than winning the league. So I know what you mean. In terms of when we've actually been there and thereabouts to kick on. Because correct me if I'm wrong, Jota and Thiago were different summers. They weren't the same summer, were they?
No,
the same summer. Jota and Thiago.
Yeah, when we signed them, they were different summers, weren't they?
No, same summer. Same summer.
We literally signed them like one day or two after each other. Yeah, because it was Thiago first. That was the big one, and then
Jota was the one that actually got down the line first.
Yeah.
And so you could argue the one summer where we actually tried to improve the 11. Then we were kind of unfortunate with injuries. That's the one time where you actually had a bit more ambition than other summers.
Yeah,
but it's like it's a summer too late. It's just like what Ash said. We are always working. We're too. You've said this so many times, Roms, and I'm thinking about it more. We are so reactive instead of just proactive.
Proactive,
is just always. So we only got Konate because we were scared, and that's why we got him. We were scared we might have another injury crisis, so we had to get in another.
They didn't trust Gomez,
and they didn't trust Gomez. Again, Klopp does these things, and the Liverpool board do these things, and people are not seeing it. They signed Calvin Ramsey. You know what that means? Nico, you gotta go. They signed Ibu Konate. Guess what, Gomez? We don't really trust you that much, but we trust you enough to keep you here at the bare minimum, kind of thing. We don't trust you enough to be a starter, though.
This is a segue into my next point, G. With all this being said, and it's easy to say it's not because of our blueprint, but do you then think Darwin Nunez was a reactive signing then? And we were just reacting to City?
Yes.
We reacted to Sadio Mane going, I want to leave.
Yes, more. I think all of those things, we're reacting to hearing that, well, maybe we were in talks for Haaland, I don't know. But hearing that he was going City, we knew we were in a situation where Salah and Mane are in contracts like kerfuffle. So if we do not get that sorted, we need to sign someone. In their eyes, the only other signing was Darwin Nunez. We'll see how that works out. I feel like there was other players they could have signed in replacement of that, but they got in Darwin Nunez. So they're just too reactive, man. It's never people. I've been seeing thesis and a whole dissertation about, we've been watching Darwin Nunez for about 2 years. Listen, I'm not saying that we haven't scouted the guy, but let's be honest. I don't think we were scouting him so extensively and we were like, yes, he is the guy that's gonna. I think it was more, we got confirmation when we saw him this season or the season just gone of how he can play. Because he played well against us, that kind of probably swayed Klopp's mind and thinking he's only human.
Always do that. Done it with Minamino.
I think that's what does every time. Every time there's a player that plays well against Klopp, I think him and Pep Linders go into that. You know, he's got that little boot room. He's got the.
They do the what I said.
All of this. Yeah, you know what I mean? Getting excited over it. Nunez. Yeah, man.
Do you know what though? The only way that they could have got out of this summer by letting go of Sadio Mane is doing exactly what they've done. Liverpool fans haven't kicked off because we've spent a record fee. That's the only way that they disguised letting arguably our second best forward in the Premier League year ago. Like, you've got Suarez, you've got Salah, you've got Torres, and then you've got, in my opinion, Sadio Mane.
You know what I'd love?
Go on.
Sorry, go on, Ash.
And then I was going to say, and what other thing, when we were all asking for a central midfielder and everyone was like, this isn't good enough. What did they do? Played the elevator music, put Mo Salah with his top off, holding Salah stays. And then everyone was like, oh, Mo!
We're moving a bit like United, just papering over the crowd.
Yeah.
Like the owners is giving the kind of feeling us what we want to see. Because it's my next thing. Like, we know this, but had Marnie not left, I still would have liked to see Nunez, and we just wouldn't. That just wouldn't have happened. No. I would have still liked to see Nunez.
Imagine Nunez with Sadio Mane coming in from that left, dropping into the.
And that is quality and depth.
Yeah. No, but hold on. But why did they? On another note, why did they play elevator music when Salah was just chilling on that sofa?
I didn't understand that either.
Why did they make a video for him signing? Why could it just be like Salah extends, just like a normal headline?
Because they're trying to disguise the magic trick.
They actually got a camera crew out to get on there, record it, edit it.
Was he even really on holiday? Was he even really out of the country? For all we know, he could have been in England and they just got props and all of that to just kind of jazz it. I don't know. I don't even know what's real anymore. When I saw it, I was like, you did all of this just for him to stay.
Literally Salah stays. Like, name me another club this transfer window who you can say they've kept the player on a new contract, signed a new deal, and they've released this video and this big sing and song and dance. No one. Apart from Nketiah maybe giving him the 14 shirt.
No one.
Yeah. But at least that's iconic. Jesus Christ, like.
Not this thing.
But look, like Assad, you're saying the pessimism is mad though for a team only 2.
It didn't happen.
It didn't happen though.
You're not understanding.
Like, bro,
it didn't happen. It's like saying if Usain Bolt was slower, then Tyson Gay would have been the fastest man in the world. It don't matter how.
I said, look at it from your perspective. Yeah, you can look back on your great team, the Fabregas, the Costas, and the Hazards, and that. But you're actually sitting on accolades, at multiple accolades as well, not just times one. We can't do that for this great team. We have to go, but we are a point behind twice.
No, that's good. The best way to describe it, it's like me saying here and being, you know what? Chelsea fans can't be really too pessimistic because with the squad that they had, they were only a penalty shootout away from being Carabao and
exactly. You're going to tell us
you didn't win it. So at the end of the day, you finished the season with nothing, empty-handed.
Yeah. You know what kills us more than anything, Assad, is the fact that every season we have to overachieve to finish second. We want to be the team that is expected to be at the top. We don't want to be the team who's like, do you know what? We're going to play our best ever football that we've ever done. Every single player in our squad is going to play above and beyond their means, but we're still going to finish second. Because we want to have a squad where some players can have an okay season. Like if you look at Man City's squad, who out of their attack last season was world class? I can't name, like Mahrez was the top goal. Who? It's the midfield that was world class last season. I can't really name an attacker from Man City last season who I would put in World 11.
It comes from that. Not in World 11, but you could argue Mahrez probably had his best ever season. That's what I would argue. But just to answer about what Assad said, that there's only a small number of our fan base that think this. I said you can call us for bottom reds, but there's only
I promise you.
You know what? I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna watch it back and see if there's some discrepancies. I'm gonna look for. Do you know, like with the black background where it just waves a little bit? I'm gonna try and see.
Like you saw it with like the shots that they did where they were just taking photos of everything that was going down, and I was like, bro, I promise you, this guy's in Bournemouth chilling. And he's in a nice little B&B, and they just got the thing, and they said, "Yo, Salah, we're just gonna make this big."
It's like giving us a little teaser, like you could see that the admin team are like, "Oh, do you know what? We'll put this out there," and all those top reds are gonna be like, "Oh, what's this? What's this that's come in?" And then they're gonna play a little snippet of a video next to a pillar. "Oh, I can't handle this. Oh, pass me the tissues." Yeah. And then all of a sudden, like Mo Salah comes out, "Oh," and it's all like I was watching that, and I was literally like, I couldn't give a shit.
The way it was on the rooftop and that, and everything is up. And this is what I'm saying to Assad, like. There's only a small minority that think like this, that you probably wouldn't even have to put that comment in another Liverpool stream because they would have been happy with this. Finishing second, 2 trophies. They love that nearly man. They love that underdog story. Us four aren't like that. So of course we're gonna feel like
and we're not being ungrateful. I feel like people think we're being ungrateful. We're not. We're saying like in our history, like we have been through, and you've all been there. We've been through the Ricky Lamberts. We've been through the finishing near mid-table, not even in European football. So now, when we've got the chance, we've got the finances, we've got the manager, we've got the players, we've got the stadium, everything's in place. But all we need is just the owners to just go, do you know what? This is your season. Even if they just did it for this one transfer window and went, do you know what? Here's 150 million. Go and get what you need right now. We will win for the next 2-3 years. I'm telling you, until Klopp leaves, we'll keep winning. And that's what's so frustrating, that we're so close, but we're not there.
I've said it before, even if we tried and it failed, me, G and Jerry said for the longest, least we could say we at least tried. At least we could say we've at least tried that. And just what you mentioned in there, the finances, Ash, this is what goes over a lot of people's head. We made the most in revenue. I think we made commercially the most in revenue this season. I think it was 600+ million. Like, what are we doing with it? This is the first time ever we actually made the most, more than the Uniteds, more than the Chelseas, more than the Cities. Like, where's the money going to?
And what everybody doesn't realize, we've made the money back already on transfers spent this season, this summer, with the outgoings that we've already put in. We only paid 60 something up front for Nunez. We played like chicken change for the other two. Like these guys that are going out, we're selling like Nico for 17 million, which I didn't like it, but 17 million, that's a good price. We're selling players for good prices. We've got the money back in, so technically we've not even spent anything. Our wage bill has dropped So we have more wage bill we're sitting on. Like, what are people not seeing and not grasping? Like, it's there to be had.
I'm happy you actually said that. It's not that we're ungrateful, because people might, if it's the first time watching, might tune into the stream, be like, these four are negative, but they need to look at the bigger picture. We're acting like it's because we love our club, we adore our club. It's coming from a place where we love our club. That's the only reason why we're speaking this passionately. But our families are too used to I don't know, different people just blowing smoke up the club's ass and just acting like everything's happy.
It's that, you know, when you as a child, you love your mum and, you know, your parents so much, and you just, as you get older and older and older, you know, you still love them as equally as much as you did when you was younger. But there does come a point in time where, I kind of want to move out, you know, like I want to do things on my own now. And I feel like with Liverpool fans as a whole, the majority of them, they're in that mode of they don't even want to ask mum to leave because they feel like, I have to be grateful because she did this. Okay, we get it.
They want to be in mummy's house 30 plus, bro. They want to be 40 years old.
And it's like, okay, listen, I get it. You know, you want to be respectful, you love her, unconditional. But at some point, you need to grow up. At some point, you need to move on.
To the late, great Claude. It's time to go.
It's time to go, bro. Like, you need to do. And I think Liverpool fans are too grateful for being in a position of, I'm sorry, and this might sound rude, might clip up or whatever. This isn't it. This ain't some sick era that we're in. This is just way better than what you guys have ever seen in the last 20 years. It's only because it's been that long. If it was only 5 years and we'd went through all of what we had been through in this last 30 and we were doing what we're doing now, Klopp would be sacked. He would be sacked.
Yeah, imagine saying that you've been in through this era, right? You've got the best right back that's ever walked the Premier League. You've got the best centre back that's ever walked the Premier League. Arguably the best goalkeeper that's ever walked the Premier League. The best right winger that's ever walked the Premier League. And you've not dominated.
You won one Premier League.
Man City can't look at their squad and go, they've got in their position the best to ever, apart from maybe Kevin De Bruyne. But you're talking about Stevie G and Lampard and Scholes and in that position. So, like, City don't even have one player in the main position that's the greatest ever to play in the Premier League. We've got 4 or 5, and we still can't get over the line, all because our midfield just doesn't connect to the way that we need to play.
It's true.
Yeah, it's true. I think the best way to sum up Liverpool, and I've said it before, and Liverpool fans in general, we're like the girl that's been abused our whole lives by men. We get beaten up, battered, we get told we're nothing, we're trash, we're this. And the next guy comes along and he might abuse us, but he's not as abusive, and he gives us a cup of coffee in the morning, and we're so grateful for it. We're like, great.
We accept the bare minimum.
The bare minimum. And that's what it is, man. That's what it is. And yeah, like I say, it's sad. But to finish up quickly, I wanted to obviously
I don't even want to speak about us on this hot day, but we just had to.
We had to.
I had to get it out of our chest.
But another light-hearted one I thought that we could just touch on, I think it's interesting, is looking at Leeds United. And obviously, Leeds United, I think they've gone under the radar, in my opinion, in terms of the business that they've done. I think the main ones, obviously, they've lost Rafinha, they've lost Calvin Phillips, and it can look all kind of doom and gloom. But you look at it, and they're very similar to Tottenham, because all the areas that they needed to address, they've done it. And I'm looking at it now. They brought in Mark Rocker from Bayern Munich for 10.8 mil. Rasmus Christensen from Salzburg, that's for 11 mil. Tyler Adams as a DM for 15 mil from Leipzig also. Luis Sinisterra, the Colombian from Feyenoord for 22 mil. And
the Dutch winger? It got over the line.
The Colombian one, yeah.
I know they were in talks.
It's confirmed.
I did not know that one.
And Brendan Aronson from Salzburg for 29 mil.
I'm glad Rom's
29 mil on Aronson.
Yeah.
And
I'm glad you acted like that, then, Roms, because that is a better deal than Rafinha. Him coming in is better than.
You know why I'm acting like that as well, Ash? Because there was a European club, bigger than Leeds in talks with Cincinnati.
Yeah,
that's a mess. I didn't know that. I know he was speaking to them, but I didn't know that went over the line.
Yeah, it went over the line, and that's a player that my missus is Colombian, so obviously I knew a lot about the kind of Colombian players and stuff. But I went and had a proper watch of him when they went and played in the Europa League final, and he was good. You know,
I watched him in a
him and Malacia were both really, really good, and he was really direct. And it's a bit mad because we're looking at it, and a lot of people want to obviously talk about Jesse Marsh, say, "Oh, the Yanks in charge. You don't know what he's doing and stuff." But you're looking, and he's a manager there that clearly similarly to obviously to Ten Hag, he's got a kind of an idea of what he wants to do. That they needed to address. They've got rid of players like Tyler Roberts and and Helder Costa that was still there, and all these types of players that were just not good enough. It looks like Rodrigo might be leaving as well. You know, that's their big money.
Their marquee signing,
the most they've ever spent on a player, and he looks like he might be going to.
What was that? Like 40 mil, 50 mil, maybe
35 mil. But it's mad, and you're looking at it, and it's like they could do really. They might be back. Yeah, I mean, solidified in the Premier again. I don't know what you guys think of it, but
I might put him in my fantasy now. I didn't know Sincere was when Leeds. I'm actually gassed for them.
Leeds of what he did towards that back end of the season though was good. Like Leeds were some open team. They were open like many dirty things. They were open. They were open.
They were open to their manager, and they were as open as Bielsa's cheeks though when he's squatting like that, and everything's straight.
We'll use that one. There were so many analogies that popped into my head, but we'll use that one.
I did, because the minute you said it, you just paused. I
thought about it. I'm like, nah,
I can't use that one. Can't use that one.
I can't use that one. I'm like, nah, I want kids to need slow down.
Yeah, we're nearly at 200 subscribers, man. We can't be
He showed them up though. He showed them, like, you saw them, like they were nowhere near as open as they were under Bielsa. Under Bielsa, that was like, under Bielsa, that was really bad. That was really, really bad.
Sorry, G. I don't know what she said anymore.
Hold on. I'm going to get a picture of Lil Mo in it.
Yeah, because a lot of people, you know what she said, you won't find out.
You won't even know. I forgot about Little Mo. Jesus Christ.
I shoot on you're the coat of comments, you know. I swear it down.
No, he is. There was another comment that he put had me bussing up.
Bro, on Coppish, on Grace on Sick, bro, he's the entertainer, I'm telling you. Oh, what a comment.
Someone was saying that I couldn't even concentrate. But nah, it's just literally that, man. He showed them up. So I think what Jay just saying earlier on about that them for next season, look at the players that they're signing, you know, like these are good players that they are signing for a team like Leeds to be able to get like Rocker and Tyler Adams, Aronson. Like that's why I said 30 million. When you said that, I said, right, okay. I didn't think that they would go out and sign a player like that for that.
Is he good? That Aronson. I'll be honest, out of all the signings they've made, I only know Tyler and Sincera. I don't really know the rest, but
Aronson, it's funny, I know Aronson and Tyler, those are the only two that I would have seen the most. Aronson is a very, for Leeds, he will probably shine if that makes sense. If he went to like a bigger team, that's probably the only way I can describe it. If he went to a bigger team, he might just get lost in, he's just another player that's there. But at Leeds, I feel like he's definitely coming in to be someone who might actually take that mantle, if I'm being honest with you. That's why I feel like 30 million, I was like, oh, okay, like you really wanted to sign him. Like you didn't even mess around with this kind of, that's a lot of money for them. So Rocker as well, like come on now, like I didn't ever think Leeds would get a player like Rocker, to be honest with you, and they got him in.
What position is he? I don't know Rocker either.
Defense.
Is it
defensive midfield?
The defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, and they're looking at it, and you look at it, and I mean, look, they needed a creative midfielder when they played because they relied too much on Rafinha. Their midfield was garbage. You know what I mean, they're relying on Flick and what's his name, Adam Forshaw. Like it was really, really, really bad.
Harrison as well from left wing, you know.
Exactly, and then Harrison as well. And then you're looking at it, and it completely transforms what they're about to do. I mean, they're still in for a striker. They're trying to get that De Ketelaere forward from Bruges, and I think Bruges have had and they've had a really, I mean, Belgian international as well. Had a really good season. And Bruges recently have just in terms of forwards, they've done really well. You're obviously the likes of like even Emmanuel Dennis that was at Watford. He had a good season last year.
Is it Lang there as well? No, Lang.
Noah Lang's there as well. Yeah, exactly.
Because with that, I don't know how to pronounce the name. With that, the Calated guy from Bruges. They're in a difference of valuation right now because I think he doesn't mind joining Leeds, but Brugge won a bit more. I think I see Fabrizio report it. I think yesterday, maybe even this morning.
Yeah, it's mad.
Fabrizio is even saying.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think it does look a bit like. Yeah, it looks promising, and I think there's a lot of teams when you look at it, they're doing a lot of business, but we're just not even clocking it. We're not clocking it. We're all looking at the big players moving, like Rafinha moving over there, moving over there. But Leeds, for me, they've bought really well. They haven't just gone and splashed out on players like, Watford have gone down, so let's get like Truce de Kong in and get this player in and that player in and maybe Sissoko and all these types of players. They've been really smart and they've bought players that will buy into a system. And buy into the system that Marsh wants to play. And I remember when we faced Marsh at Liverpool, and I thought he done a really good job when he was at Salzburg, personally.
And that's it. It's another example of Ten Hag again, bringing in players that you know are going to come into your squad, are going to do a job for your team. Like Leeds could have easily gone out with the money that they've just got from Phillips, from Rafinha. They could have gone and got a big name. Look at like Bailey last season for Aston Villa. I thought that was a top-class signing, and it's just kind of flopped because sometimes when you get these big-name signings and bring them into these lower-tier teams, it doesn't fit well, it doesn't slot well. This is why Newcastle, for me, and I know we're talking about Leeds, I think Leeds will do really well, but I think Newcastle, you watch out for them next season because they're doing everything so well. Even last season, they didn't go and splash the cash. They've got the cash, but they're doing everything the right way. A very well-run club. I think Newcastle are going to be the surprise.
But Newcastle are lucky in that sense. Any new club that comes with money now, you've had the lessons from Chelsea, the lessons from Man City, QPR. Like you've seen all of what everybody's.
PSG had that lesson though, but PSG just did it mad, didn't it?
Yeah,
I was going to say, didn't Newcastle lose out recently to one of their striker targets? He went to PSG signed him, Hugo, I forgot his name, but I think they lost out to one of their targets recently. They were following him for a long time. I was going to say, Ash, on the flip side, Newcastle are expected to finish within, I'd say top 8. I'm not even going to say top 10. They're probably expected to finish.
They have to.
Is top 8 too harsh? It's not harsh.
I think Europa League is realistic. I think.
So then I ask you this: do you feel like the expectation can get to them, and do you reckon they might crack under pressure? Because I look at, other than the top 6, I think the top 6 will actually be the top 6 this season. Then I ask myself, are they stronger than Leicester and West Ham yet?
They're stronger than Leicester, no. Leicester, they've not even brought anybody in.
Yeah,
like Leicester on the decline.
It's so weird.
I think Leicester could finish like mid-table. Like
I think Rodgers is sacked next season.
Yeah, same.
I've always said Rodgers' flaw is he's better than what he thinks he's better than what he is. I've always said if he was a bar of chocolate, he'd eat himself. Rodgers just thinks he thinks too much. That was even his problem at us. That's just Rodgers for you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like that one.
No, that is true. But I think Newcastle, I'm going to go. I think they're the only team I think can break the top 6 this season.
Not even West Ham. If West Ham get the Berger and Lingard deal, there'll be a problem. I'm watching them.
I'm not going to lie. I feel like West Ham, I feel like that time's done now. You know what? You get like
even with Moisty.
No, but you get a period of a team like Wolves have been.
I know where you'll go with this.
Where you get into that bracket, but the reality is because the other teams ahead of you keep on improving, you're not really going to break that.
Only so far you can, you kind of hit a seed.
West Ham, and I'm thinking Antonio, older. They've just gotten rid of Mark Noble, obviously wasn't really playing. Declan Rice obviously will stay, fair enough. They've got Suchek, who I think is a decent player, another year under his belt. I just don't think they have enough. I feel like they need that. They're relying on Antonio. I'm sorry, Antonio is not getting you.
Bowen's the guy, G.
True.
Like I said, though, with the addition of Broa, which I think right now Chelsea are making a mistake.
Yeah. I was going to say before, Roms, Roms is right.
Has Broja actually...
No, not yet. No, they're in talks, but apparently Fabrizio reported today they're in talks 30 million. But the thing with Chelsea is 50, because actually, even though I feel they're making a mistake, again, my friend made a very good point. Chelsea are kind of how we should move. They're trying to win now. They want someone to hit the ground running now. So I understand both points, whether some don't mind him going, but I do feel he should stay. But that looks like it's going to go through. And Jesse Lingard, apparently he's been in London the last day. If they get them two over the line, I hear what you're saying, G. A lot of them teams that the Wolves in that time, remember even, who was it that did it one season? They were in and around... They were in and around the top 8. The Leicester, the Wolves, they hit a ceiling and they can't go no more. But gee, I think if they get them two signings over the line, I don't know. I think West Ham can cook. Gee, you know how you said they hit a ceiling? I think this is their last season of that. So I think maybe next year might be it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree with that still. I think they'll get to Jerry, you're dumb. I think they'll get to that stage where you're just like, all right, and then that's why I think a Newcastle would then overtake, because Newcastle can keep spending money. No, West Ham can't keep up with that. So eventually, unless they can get a higher position to be able to get better players quicker, I think West Ham will be the team that drops down with Leicester. But Leicester, I don't really understand. Like I might need to speak to a Leicester correspondent because I want to know what's going on.
You know what's crazy?
Bro, it looks crazy on that side. Like
this is what I think is absurd when you mainly hear it from Arsenal United fans because it was their era. When they're speaking about let's say 2000 to about 2005, and they're like the Prem was harder to win then. I know that the caliber of player was better. I think we would all agree. You had better players back then, but when deep how we're speaking, teams like Leicester and Leeds, whatnot, spending 50 mil on players. That's why I just think it's not even a question that it's harder to win now. You've got lower table clubs that can spend in the region of the 30, 40 millions. You can never say that back in the early noughties. Like it's actually crazy. Deep what we're saying. Leicester and Leeds spending 40 million. I never thought I'd see the day.
Like Leeds are spending money like it's just coming out of their arse.
Remember Villa had a summer of £100. Fulham.
Everton.
Everton, they'll continue to. Awobi and Sigurdsson for 40+ million. That's when I knew that club.
Dele Alli,
like how much are the wage? Like, I'd love to see what their wage bill is like. That wage bill must be crazy.
They're probably paying the reporters and the news correspondents as well to keep that Sigurdsson.
Everton are a funny club. When you have a wash player that has had a previous high profile or has been a has-been, they're still going to pay that premium for him. They're the club that keeps on giving. This is what I was saying in a past stream, Ash, right? Unless you're actually a scouser that lives in Liverpool, I don't think we care about him. Like, I was going to ask you, up in Manchester, that Bolton side, do you really care about Everton?
No, do you know what? I don't. My granddad was a Scouser, so I kind of got the vibe of like the bitterness between.
Yeah.
But like to me, it doesn't even make a difference. Like I don't even get up for derby days that much. Like do you know, like Everton, Liverpool. It's like Liverpool United. That's the one.
Yeah, I'll be more
season. I don't know if it's because we just know we're going to roll Everton over now, and it's just like, you know what I mean. But it's not even to me where I am. It's not a big thing. Not a big thing.
Yeah, Assad saying, West Ham getting Broja if they can't get Lingard. If they can get Lingard as well, they'll do bits. Yeah, they'll be all right. If Lingard can play the way he did when he was there for that season, definitely.
Because you're right. Jerry, I'm happy you said that because it's all good him doing it in a loan spell. Now you're actually a signing. Now you actually belong to West Ham. Yeah. Let's do it when the eyes are... Because he comes in there. I wouldn't even say it's Bone anymore. He is... When they're behind or drawing, they're looking at him to win the game. It wouldn't be the Broges, it wouldn't be the Bowen. Bowen probably be next in line, but they're looking at Lingard. Yeah, you've got the profile, you've got the clout. You need to win us this game. And it comes with a different pressure, man.
Exactly, man. Assad saying, you see how you man see Everton, that's how I see Spurs, never been a threat. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I can hear that. I can
actually hear that.
I can fully hear that.
And Trudon is said, this City, that's Trevor gripping us up.
It's true though. It's true though.
She's dominating. She's dominating. Like, come here, man. She's dominating like that.
I keep saying, if I hear, I can't listen. Just picture it for a second. I don't want to picture it for too long. But let me just make up a date about mid-May. Let's say it gets to what? May the 25th next season or the 20th, 2023. And I have another Pep interview. So what do you think of Liverpool? So good. They pushed us to the end. I can't. I'll smash my TV.
More than you can believe.
And you're just like, what?
If
that happens, you might have just like supporting. You just do it for banter and for vibes. You know, you just we might as well go to that rave. Might as well. I'm bored.
Mm-hmm. I might join in with him. I might actually mimic him. So good. The best opposition I've ever like. We've heard it free. He even said it. You know what's funny? He even said it in the season. We finished third. He still said we were third. That's when he was taking the piss.
Yeah.
We weren't even near them that season.
This is the problem at the very end. I mean, quality players, Nat Phillips. Ozan
Kabak. Reece,
Kabak, wow, Kabak. I remember when we signed Kabak, they asked him about it and he said, wow, Kabak. That's what he said. When we signed
Do you know what? We were all like that though. Like everyone was like,
the worst thing about it as well is and this is what Liverpool's done to me. And it's why I've been quite silent in the stream because it's getting me mad and more mad and more mad.
I can tell from before the stream, Jerry. Even when Liverpool first got mentioned, you were feeling inside.
We signed Kabak and I gassed Kabak up and I was out here screaming, he's our centre back, Kabak. He's our centre. I was out here singing my heart out for Kabak. And I know he's dead. I know he's not good.
He can't be getting Norwich's first team, man.
I was here saying that, listen, I convinced myself that Davies could be, he could be.
I thought he could be the next Agger.
No, but I thought he's left-footed. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Maybe he might displace Van Dijk. Van Dijk moves to the right and Davies comes in. I haven't seen him play even in pre-season.
He wasn't even injured. And he still couldn't get on the bench. That's so bad. I thought Davis, like you, when everyone was going, Kabak, we brought Kabak in. I was like, no, what's this guy? English guy from Preston, touring up the championship. He's going to come in, and I'm telling you now, 500k is going to be like a Matip. It's like someone coming in on a free, and it's his time. Oh, my. It's just so bad. When you look at that season, I
think he must have done something with like what's her name? What's Klopp's wife's name?
Ula.
I think
who even went to Klopp or to Michael Edwards and went, do you know what? Kabak and Davis. Because even when you look at Kabak, that Schalke team was so bad. Like they were in the relegation battle. They conceded the most goals in the Bundesliga at the time. Why do you go to that league when we were linked with Sven Botman? That would have been a good signing. But I'm not saying anything now because we've got Canate off the back of it.
Sorry to cut you there, Ash, because I need to get this in whilst I remember. We were even linked to, who's the Marseille centre-back? And I proper wanted him. We just needed to break the bank. Who? No, it wasn't Kamara.
Was it some
yeah. What's his name? I forgot how to pronounce it.
For flip's sake.
Yeah, Kaleta Carr. Dujan Kaleta Carr.
That's it. With a beard. The guy with a beard.
I think even to this day, I think he's quality. I reckon he'll be in the Premier League soon, probably by the end of this window. And at Marseille, because Marseille up for 2025 and the tight team we are, we said no, we're all right.
We didn't have the
bro. We went in for, but I just heard. Sorry, I just quickly nipped off to the toilet. As I came back in, I heard Ash talking about we got in, bro. We got in Kabak, who played for Schalke, who was shit, and we got in Ben Davis, who hasn't played a competitive game for us since being here, and we just let him go. Like, there's your recruitment, Top Reds. There, if you wanted to know what our recruitment looks like, there you go.
How have we made profit
off a player who didn't even play?
Like,
we made profit off Minamino, of a guy who barely played as well. Like,
nah, Minamino, you've got to give Minamino his dues a little bit. I feel like
you're giving him the due from last season. But he didn't
get his chance. And again, it's another situation. Minamino was a 10, even an 8 when he was playing at Salzburg. He came into Liverpool. Where do we play him? Winger and centre forward. Like, that's not his position.
That's what I see with Carvalho.
This is what Klopp does every time, so you can't be mad. Like,
you can't ruin my boy. If he ruins my boy, I'm going up to Liverpool myself and having words with him.
I'm due to do that this season.
But it's mad because I see similarities in Minamino and Carvalho's game. They're both really nice.
Don't take the piss.
They both want to play out on they've both played out on the left. They've played in the centre. I'm telling you now, Carvalho, he's the one that's getting in there trying to score goals. Minamino was that player. He's just younger. They've even got the same trim.
You know what Carvalho is going to be with me? You know that girl, you know that's not good for you, but you keep... I'm going to use the analogy now. That girl doesn't look good to you. You keep going back. That's what's going to be Carvalho. You know, even... I don't even think he's had that much of a too bad pre-season game that he should have scored cool. But rival fans are going to do what rival fans do. That's why when we get banned, I love this because we do the same. It's the nature of our game, right? But let's say, because Jerry even said, you know the picture, there's a video of you, your boy, and he can't speak.
Yeah.
If that happens, I'm still going to be, like, I'm going to have to come out and say I got it wrong. Actually, if you don't know about it, I'm head of... Would have been able to eat... me explaining to... Would have been able to eat... That's gonna be me explaining to Jerry and G.
I've never seen this before.
If Carvalho doesn't do well, like listen.
But it won't be. You know, it'll be down to Klopp. You know.
The question to me, to Roms, will be, what's the difference between Minamino and Carvalho?
Yeah, and I'll be like that. Have you even seen Yaya Toure when he's trying to explain it? Exactly that.
Where's Demo when you need him? It's
been funny. Let me run through the comments before we just wrap up, man. It's been a long one today. 2 hours of face. Guys, everyone in the comments that's been there.
All right,
every single one.
I've seen we've got new subscribers. I mean, I think we're about probably past 20 likes or 20 likes or so. If we can get to 30, that would be incredible. But the guys have been backing the thing, so appreciate everyone that's obviously been joining. That's been in the chat. Let's have a look at the likes quickly.
Let me have a look. See, let's get these likes up.
We're in 20 likes. We're on 20 likes, as I said. So, I mean, we've had way more people than that. So, guys, please, if you could like, it would be amazing. But let me just run through this quick. Assad saying, how can you lose the title to the same team 3 times on the final day? You must hate City. I do. I think
it's 3 times.
It's the biggest game.
Twice.
It's twice, but regardless.
I think he means 13-14 as well.
Yeah, 13-14. It's true.
Right, you're right.
But do you know what it is? I'm not going to lie to you. I hate City more than any other team now. I don't care about the rest.
I do see where you're coming from, Jerry. I do, but I can't physically hate anyone more than United. I just can't. I can't. They're always number one.
I hate United, but for me, I don't care. We beat United, and it's like great at the moment, but it doesn't give us anything.
You don't. You know, I hear you. I hear you. It doesn't mean.
I don't hate City. I respect City for what they're doing.
Yeah, I was going to say I respect them.
I respect City, and I think, do you know what? It's nice to see a team that is that good that we get a chance to see week in, week out. It hurts, but it's nice to see it. Whereas Man United, I cannot even. Yeah. Like United,
you're basically in the city as well, Ash. So it must be worse.
Yeah. Everyone around here is United. Every single. The young ones now, though, Man City's everyone's Man City now. The young ones, but my age, all United fans.
Assad saying, shout out my brother Saint. He's been spitting fire all summer about FSG and Klopp. One of the real LFC fans around. 100%. Shout out Saint, guys. If you haven't. Rom's as well, regular on that show as well on Saint LFC TV. So please check that out. Yeah, remember Kabak and Phillips away at Madrid? Jesus Christ. And
Yeah,
Naby in the pocket, helping them out as well, innit?
You know what's funny about this? Jeez, Judo, big up yourself. I tweeted about Philip Degan the other day. He cared about modelling for the LFC monthly magazine more than even playing football.
Yeah.
When I was young, I remember being about 8 or 9, just seeing this guy in the LFC monthly magazine all the time. I was like to my dad, has he even kicked a ball for us yet? He's like, hardly seen him. Philip Degan, you know, we've come through it.
He had a twin as well, Degan, innit? Who played?
Yeah.
I can't think where he was playing. But they both played for the national team. How did they play for the national team?
Crazy.
A quick interesting fact, yeah. Saint didn't know this as well, but I've known this for years, but it's like Liverpool fans didn't know this. I know this is a trip down memory lane, blast from the past. But do you know Litalik and Cinema Pongo were half brothers? Did you not know that?
Was it you that told me that, G, the other day?
I was doing a post, and I had to do the post on Litalik, and I typed in his name, and then I went on the thing and I see he joined Liverpool with his cousin. I was like,
oh yeah, cousin, that's it. Cousin,
yeah,
I don't think
and I was
brother.
like, what? I was like, how does this work? Like, how does this even work? Like, but apparently they're actual.
I think actually, I don't even think they're because I think they're half brother. It's one of the two.
Yeah, let me check now.
But that stuck with me. I've known that for years. But when I mention it to Liverpool fans, they're always that shocked that one's white and one's they can't believe it. Yeah.
Are you sure?
100%. They're either cousins or brothers.
Let me check now.
That's why I dropped that in. It just come to my head.
That's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, that's mad. That's actually mad. Assad again saying that you mentioned they kept Shaqiri. Can't lie, he would have won you, man, 5 to 6 more points last season. 100%.
Hear that, but then Klopp
he would have played.
Yeah.
And then Assad was saying that, yeah, you man hate Chelsea. Yeah, because the Chelsea are the pagans, Assad. Yeah.
You're my second hatest team. After you what to what Ash said, I kind of respect City as much as they're the team taking our limelight. For me, Chelsea and United come before City in terms of hatred. I can't stand you lot.
Yeah. Now Chelsea, I really don't like, man. And to be fair, Assad, me and you got beef, man, because I remember we were on Big Six Bands and you were trying to come for me, innit? So since then, it's cool, it's calm. I'm gonna have to. Next time we've got a Chelsea stream about, I'm coming for you. I'll let you see. Look, it started already. Look,
he was the one that said it.
Yeah, he's the one that said. That's why I say there's beef. That's what I'm saying. There's beef. Man's talking to me about Ox. Get out of there, man. Get out of there. But yeah, guys, man, no, go on.
Sorry, no, I was just reading up the thing. Yeah, they found out that they were cousins purely because it says when they were at a tournament. Sorry.
Well, did they have a medical or something, and they were just out raw?
No. Letalic's dad saw Pongo at like a tournament. They started speaking. He heard his last name and was like, Pongo? He's like, I've got a cousin called Pongo as well. Found out who his father is and found out that was actually his cousin. I think different, like the mum must be from somewhere else. I don't know where she's from.
Yeah, I said, see, it's coming now. See, you're a pagan. Big up, I said. But yeah, man, guys, it's been a great one. Before we head out, let the people know where they can find you, G.
Everywhere, man. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Make sure you're following the guys, all the Klopp Zone guys as well. Please follow the names in the description. They are.
Yeah, Roms.
My socials are all here. You're regular here, Saint LFC TV, Big Six Banks here and there. But yeah, not just ball as well. I probably tweet about every sport, bar, golf and rugby. Combat sport, MMA, boxing, F1, tennis, anything. I'm there.
About the boxing yesterday or the other day, actually. Still, I didn't watch.
I love boxing still, but yeah.
One man. And Ash, listen, thank you for coming on so much. You're like incredible, and had to get the chief exec.
Can I just say it was a pleasure? This is the first time I've been on. It was a pleasure, man.
Yeah, it's been good. I'll have to jump on again sometime. Yeah, 100%. Whenever you guys are free, whenever you need anyone. Like I said, check us out at Klopp Zone. Roms, you'll have to jump across. Come on, some Klopp Zone stuff whenever you want to, man. Like, I'm free in loads of time. Like I said, we've got a YouTube channel. Head over there, follow, subscribe. Instagram's where it's at. Breaking news. Get over to Twitter. Just everything. Klopp Zone. But also follow Ash Wilding. I'm trying to do a little bit of a kind of side individual thing as well. So appreciate you three.
As you see here, obviously all the avatars that you see, the majority of all the graphics you see in regards to Liverpool, they all come from Klopp Zone. So I suggest that any kind of the football fan just go in there, because some of the content, the graphics are there is incredible. And I think we're just good to get Ash on here, because it shows that he's a knowledgeable kind of Liverpool fan as well. It's not just from a Liverpool perspective. It's you have football perspective, and obviously he's not just a top red. He's not just going down one lane. He's got layers.
I think I used to be like. I think you've kind of pulled me out the top reds kind of bracket. G was trying for years. G's been
trying for years, like 3 years. 3 years.
But I can't argue with 2 against 1. Like I'll hold my hands up. Not a top red anymore.
Exactly.
I've never been a top red.
But yeah, guys, man, it's obviously been the Jerry James Show. As you said, I've put everyone's kind of links to like their channels and Twitters and socials in the link in the description as well. Please, obviously, share the recent video of obviously the op review. Make sure obviously you check out all the people on their different shows. Make sure you're supporting. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. It's been the Jerry James Show, and we're out, guys. Peace out.
Peace.
Boom.